And ideally for us, capture rate doesn't lag today. I heard that there could be potentially be some issues in the late game, but here we are. This is the final of Amigo Wars, which is a tournament hosted by the Rage Force Discord community. We've got Team Ganji against Team Andy, and the big thing we wanted to look for here was the side of Lewis, as he's got Lithuanians. He's going to bring 3 villagers forward right away to try and like rush an opening. But Ganji is very close to the choke point here, Dave, and he's going to wall up.
Yep.
And there will be action there, and there'll be action on the other flank. Expect lots of Vill Wars here to start off this final.
I actually think like the closed off choke point is better for Lewis on this. If it's open, players won't come forward to wall, and the Lithuanian villagers might not get any value.
Yeah.
If it's closed, then players will come forward to wall.
Yeah.
If it's open, they just play feudal. And Lewis might not want that. So he's going to try and get the Vills in. We see they're double teaming the scout there. So great teamwork already. And the scout from Philip a little bit late. It's a lot of HP lost already from Ganji. On the other side, Lames from Kingston. Big Lames. He's looking for them anyway.
Yeah, they've got 2 great flank civilizations for early Vill rushing and Lames. The Eagle always helps with the Dark Age pushes for someone like Kingston. And then Lithuanians, like we said, they just don't need to have as many villagers on food because they start with the extra food, so you could do this. And Lewis wanted to be in. We said that at the start. Lewis is a really aggressive player. We'll see if he even wants to, or what he wants to do here. But Ganji is really good with his Vill warring tactics typically. His villagers getting blocked off a little bit. He can quick wall like the best of them, and he gets a beautiful quick wall. Very impressive from Ganji not to lose that villager there.
Yeah, really, really sick. He has to watch out for these 2 Vills from Lewis, though, because Lewis could wall him off from the team. And Ganji almost got defeated in a very similar situation last set that he played, where he had a pond and he was investing into fishing ships on the pond and not into military, and he got punished.
Yep.
Super hardcore. But Lewis is going deep, man. Lewis is like, I need these Vills in here. I'm going to completely skip over Philip, and I'll go over to Timo's base and they don't see what I can do.
They don't see him, by the way. I think Ganji's bringing his 2 villagers this way because he is expecting the wall off to happen there. Philip is going to bring his Vill to this pond, though. And Lewis is going to split up. This is what you want to do, man.
Yeah.
You split them up. That one's been found. But the other villager's still running through. So this will be fun to see what Lewis can do. Obviously, his eco is going to have to be solid enough behind this to eventually build something. But sneak archers, sneak scouts, even just having a villager there in Castle Age to go for Siege Monk could be really good.
If you have a Vill here, they can't fish boom on this pond.
Yeah.
So you're negating 1 pond already from the team. And the other pond is beside Ganji, and Ganji might not want to go for that heavy wood investment. Kingston has gone for the big wall across. That's incredible. He actually got away with
so
that.
I'm going to predict that Lewis is going to weaken this boar with this Vill, and then the freaking Andy is going to kill it with the scout here. I think that's what they're planning on doing. It's just what makes sense because Andy's scout is close. Now, Lewis needs to get quite a few more hits here. Well, that's really good for Andy that Philip's scout is weaker than him. But there's the scout there, and okay. So now you just kill the boar, blaming it in a standard fashion. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that could happen on BF. Early aggression. We'll see what happens in the mid game here. But I feel like this open area that, or what are we calling him? Abund?
I call him Abund, but we could call him Abu as well.
Abu? Okay, this big wall that Abu's looking at here, I think this is something that would make sense to contest in Feudal Age. Just to push that back and try and get some forward stonewalls down.
There's tens of Swiss Germans in the chat losing their mind.
I mean, at least from me, they should expect me butchering German pronunciation. So I've at least set that precedent. I don't know. I think you've either tried a little bit harder or you've done a better job with pronunciations over the years. So my issue was I got made fun of one too many times for genuine attempts to pronounce German words.
Yeah, now you're desensitized.
And now I'm like, you know what? I just give up now. So
okay, so Abu is going to get aggressive against this wall, and he's going up to Feudal Age really quickly. That's the risk with this wall from Kingston. That's a lot of surface area to cover.
Yep.
If he gets men-at-arms and a tower, like he's through there, and then suddenly Kingston has to wall 2 more choke points behind, And he's not really going to have enough wood. Kingston doesn't even have a lumber camp at his main base. His lumber camp is forward.
Yeah. You will need a tower, though, because the militia and the scout themselves are not going to be enough to take down the walls.
Look at Lewis's Ville. He makes it out. He always does, dude. He always escapes. I watched him. Okay, so he had a 1 HP villager in one game. It was completely surrounded by the enemy, and he managed to find one tile to drop a siege workshop and a monastery, get himself out, and then he walled in the guy that was trying to kill his Ville.
Dude, look at this gate from Abu. This
That's
is
crazy
so obnoxious. The fact that you can gate on the other side of someone's wall through a diagonal like that. So he builds the gate. Now he's building the tower. Now he deletes his gate so he can attack this.
Men-at-arms,
Kingston
though.
could be in big trouble here. That gate's not
Big
going to stay
trouble.
up.
Yep, big trouble. He needs the walls. He's not going to get them. And suddenly his lumber camp is forward.
Yeah.
He doesn't have one at home. And he's trying for the walls further back. But this is the correct play from Gray. This is really, really solid, really aggressive. He's keeping this side open. He's punishing Kingston for coming forward so early.
Yeah, and really good patience. Players who are in this final are experienced on Black Forest, and while Kingston is great 1v1 level, he probably doesn't have the same level of experience to have realized his opponent was always going to rush him. Gray didn't wall behind that at all. Always an indicator that it's going to be fast feudal there. And this is huge damage. And this damage, Dave, could continue on and go towards Zach in the yellow color in the pocket. So this could be really difficult.
Kingston is stonewalling because he doesn't have any wood to palisade wall. So that's terrible. Look at Lewis's Ville.
Which one,
Got
dude?
a whole community of walls. I mean, he docked with the one, but the other one, he could delete all these walls and like make an archery range or something.
And I think the big thing is it did make Teemo's life awkward. And on the other side, the pockets seem to be having a easier time. Now, that might change. Zach might need to add some military here in the next stage.
Oh, but Kingston, trap those men-at-arms in. You can go for a gate on the other side and trap these in, brother.
He's going to do it.
He's going to trap them in.
No, he's not. Man-at-arms actually walked around, but yeah, 2 of them get trapped in. Nice play from Kingston.
3.
I think the important thing here, and I'm not the best Black Forest expert out there, but I think the best thing you do with this position is you go forward stonewalls. I get the interest in trying to kill your opponent more, but Gray needs to make sure that there's no pressure coming through this area, and he's going to drop walls now. There is a potential for a stable, for example, from Zach. If he could add Lancers, that could be a really big problem. By the way, Lewis added a transport ship.
I know, but Lewis is also killing one palisade wall at a time and replacing it with his own palisade wall. So he's building himself up a little empire.
Dude, the other Vills just sneaked right past Teemo's base. Is going to the other pond where Teemo is added fish traps. This is
Oh my god.
Would be awful for Teemo if he lets this happen. Lewis has been
is a menace.
Absolute menace, yeah. Oh man, that is so frustrating. To lose those fishing ships and fish traps would really delay the boom. And there's those stone walls from Gray. Walls deleted from Kingston. Zach is here. They're going to try and deny this. And now we have a gate from Kingston. So this is great work from them because they understand exactly the position that Gray's trying to gain with this. A little messy with the micro here from Zach, but hard to click in these scenarios. And they could push this right back with his potential of scouts and knights coming from the stable.
Yeah, and that scout is just putting in work, man. That scout already has 3 kills. Abu doesn't get it. He doesn't get the wall. Oh, what a gate from Kingston holding that open. And now suddenly the walls are useless on the other side because they can get right through.
And the villager comes in from Zach, and Zach will add a siege workshop now. And
Lewis is making a barracks in the back with that other villager.
Dude, I love this. It's always a sign in 4v4 team games. If we are talking about 2 players an awful lot and the others we never have to mention, right? Like, I guess Zach has done a lot, but Andy, the team captain here, he hasn't had we haven't talked about him at all. And so he's dropping TCs behind now, but
bro,
it should
Lewis
be an
just
amazing
got 4
position.
fish traps with 1 demo raft. And forced Teemo to auto reseed that fish trap. So there's not going to be a lot of wood here for Teemo to boom with.
I mean, I don't want to be critical of Lewis because he's done an amazing job, but isn't it so much more viable to just go for fires there instead of demos? Because you'd kill all the fishing ships with
No,
one
but
fire.
there was okay. So why he went for a demo? There was about 7 vills attacking his palisades.
Ah, yeah,
They
yeah,
ran away
okay.
just as the demo was about to come
Makes
out. So I
sense.
think he was thinking, I could explode these.
So, you know, Timo's being told right now by Abu, hey, buddy, I'm going to get siege pushed. Can you help? And he's probably like, I've got 2 villagers in my base right now to worry about.
He doesn't know about the double archer range either.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't see it at all?
No.
Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Timo's going to have a whole world of pain. We got more quick walling here from Lewis, by the way. So he still has these sneak villagers alive. But we've got a castle from Ganji. And it's almost been denied by Andy.
No.
Oh, Ganji. Oh, no. Those vills are so weak, man. I don't think he can micro this.
This gets to. He's sending more vills. Oh, this
He
is
has
disaster
to
for
get
Team
it up.
Ganji.
He has to get it up. But he can't. Yikes. Wow, what a great addition from Andy. Oh, there's going to be knights as well that could run through. Quick walling now from Ganji. Oh, man, not the start they wanted. I mean, this is before we see archers now. Like, this could be GG here. You needed Ganji to apply some pressure to Lewis.
Yeah, like Philip is kind of booming, but now Philip has to deal with this garbage from Lewis. And we look behind here. Like, Zach has the forward siege, sure, but his eco hasn't been touched. Andy's eco hasn't been touched.
Okay, Ganji might be able to make a run for it here. He needs this castle to complete. Oh my God, that was a 6 shot.
Nice
okay,
shot.
now I think you try and make a run for it.
Uh-oh,
There's
another
knights
knight
coming.
from Zach this time.
Oh, just kidding.
I take it back. I take it back.
Gray is just now on the way up. Timo's getting loom because he spotted the archers. And Lewis could find damage in so many different areas. Oh,
Andy
man.
is walling off Gray, and he's in the process of walling off Green as well. Timo is going to be all alone in the center of his team.
Yeah. You know, this is also the perfect start to a series to really melt the opponent's brains if you're Team Andy, right? Like, this is not that standard start to a tournament you want.
Their brains are already jello.
Oh,
They're
that's
BF
true.
players.
That's true. Well, they're not all necessarily big BF players, right? Like, Timo, for example, is not a player who plays a ton of Black Forest compared to the other guys. I could be wrong, but that's a fair point. I think they have experienced this more than I have. But big eco lead right now for Team Andy. Big military lead. Big position lead, actually. Can Ganji finally complete this freaking castle? Looks like he's going to. But, oh, man, if he only would have completed that, this whole game would be different. Lewis!
Or Lewis coming forward with everything. Lewis, where are we going, bro?
Lewis! Okay. I don't know what he was doing there. Still making lots of archers. Still isn't clicked up, by the way. So the fact he's not in Castle Age is pretty rough.
Yeah, he's kind of hard stuck feudal right now, but he's going over to Ganji's side now, and he's making a 3rd archer range. If he ever gets up to castle, he's gonna have a big army here.
Yeah, there's siege. There are a couple scorpions though from Philip. Philip's done a great job. 70 eco for him. He actually has the eco lead. And being Romans, going scorpion defense is pretty easy for him.
Bro, those men-at-arms that were trapped from Gray currently have 6,600 damage dealt. They are working behind the scenes.
And Gabetto come out now from Ganji, and Ganji slices the scorpions here from Andy. And now, Andy was thinking about stonewalling this, but that's not going to happen. I mean, we've seen Ganji go low eco pressure before. If Lewis isn't up yet, Ganji could do some real damage to Lewis here. Lewis's push might not accomplish much because there's scorpions now. Sure, he's walled them off and everything, and Gray might have some problems against Zach, but I do feel like there's maybe an avenue back into this if you're Team Ganji, but it's through Ganji's aggression, I would say.
Yeah. Let's see what kind of boom Kingston can get rolling, because Zach has kind of taken the focus off a little bit.
Yeah.
If Kingston can get a boom up, he could get ahead of Gray and then really be kind of their ace in the hole here. I think Andy has enough to cancel out Ganji. And we see Lewis still distracting Philip on the other side.
Nice micro from Timo. Got a 1-for-0. Ends up being a 1-for-1, though. He needs better than that. Yeah, love the chaos Lewis has brought. I think being Lithuanians here and considering how much damage Lewis has got, I think Andy's got to tell him, listen, I'll protect you. Just drop TCs. Just go like 3, 4, 5 TCs. Just catch up.
No, he's making a stable forward, you know.
Naturally. Yeah, maybe that's not what Lewis wants to do.
Like, there's no way for Teemo to get over to his ally before Onager, because like that's a triple layer Stonewall there from Lewis blocking the way.
And man, I just wonder, like Zach, 84 eco, Andy 84 eco. You do have 100 for Philip, but is Romans the civilization you want to have this eco right now? Would you prefer to be the Paladin player in the Franks? Probably. But I'm waiting for Andy to send support over here to Lewis. I'm seeing Lewis lose villas. The support hasn't come yet.
Lewis is busy microing against Scorpions. He's waiting for this Knight to come out. The Villager might die. The Knight needs to come and kill the Scorpions, and then can deal with the Rams, but there's a lot of Scorpions there from Philip.
Yeah, Lewis is also about to lose all of his eco at home, by the way. I think that's more important right now, and he of course, has wanted to do things with aggression, and he is, but he's got Gebettos that could run right in, and Andy seems to be getting bloodlines. He might be thinking about Knights, but I'm just not seeing a lot of army production from Andy here. If I'm Lewis, I'm like, bro, send me some help here, because this is looking bad.
Uh-oh, Lewis finding some vills here from Philip. And he's also dealing with the Scorpions with his Knights. He's going to kill all that siege at this rate.
Wow, sick.
And Philip is still completely,
sick.
like, hard stuck back here in the corner by Lewis. And Teemo has the villagers forward, or a vill forward, to make the siege in Gray's base, but he's starting only now to ram down these walls.
At least when Lewis loses villagers, he's still killing some at the same time, right? He's done so much to multiple players. And look at that Imperial Age from Kingston, who's got monks on the front. He might only have 42 eco, but the monks will be strong. Gray is going to TC drop this area, though. That's kind of interesting. Lewis is
look at the overall villager and army number. Very even, dude.
Yeah, it is.
After all of this, very, very even.
And Lewis is about to get castle dropped. And his eco is not great at the moment.
Andy's got an army, but it's not enough to take out those Gebetto. That's a lot of Gebetto. Wow. When did Ganji get 17 Gebetto?
He's just stayed so consistent with the production here. It's been so good. And, you know, I'll restate it, but, like, if Ganji can keep up that aggression and keep Lewis behind like this, and then maybe Philip can get to Imp here. He's about to be an Imp. I could definitely see Ganji and Philip winning against only Andy, basically. Because Lewis has no army right now. At least no army to defend himself, no army to support his own eco.
Can't forget about Zach, though. Like, Zach's got 91 vills, 35 fishing ships. Great fish boom behind.
Yep.
And he's on the way to Imp.
Teemo's imping as well. Sick job from him, man. I swear, every time I look over here, Lewis is doing something annoying with the knights, with the crossbows, but again, do wonder, will he survive? I think Lewis is trying to pre-escape with villagers, and he might let these Gebetto... Lewis! Andy locked the gates. Lewis tried to run through those gates, and Andy locked it because he knew the Gebetto would run into his eco. That was crazy stuff.
That was a quarantine situation. Like, we just need to keep him out. Some of you may die, but the civilization will live on.
It's just been so hectic from Lewis this game. I think we'll see that every game from him. Look at the score, Dave. Look at the populations. It's 400 population for both. What a crazy game.
360 eco for both, too.
Yeah. Military's
Wild.
even. The players in Imp is even as well. That will change, obviously, once Zach is up. But Kingston's low eco monk push hasn't actually accomplished a ton.
No, he hasn't gotten a castle up. He's late on the stone, right?
Yeah.
I think the men-at-arms pushed early just really hurt him. He should have never gone for that forward wall. Probably.
Yeah. Well, also, I thought Gray was going to die. Gray has been defending on his own against Zach and against Kingston. So well played from him to do that, because remember, the Lewis's walls have prevented his teammate from helping him.
Oh, God. Look at Philip. Philip is geared up, dude. 3 castle drop instantly in Ganji's base. He's got legionaries already. He's dealt with this garbage from Lewis behind here.
And Ganji is in Andy's eco. Andy still hasn't dealt with that. So Andy's thinking about a push when he's got Geppetto in his eco now. Andy is all out of order now.
Yep.
I think Teemo is going to be able to support his teammate soon here in a second because he's ramming down those walls that Lewis placed earlier. Remember, Lewis is a non-factor in this game. Lewis is dropping TCs now to come back into it, but he is a non-factor in this game. I think Philip is in a perfect position to win the right-hand side, which could defeat Lewis and give Andy some real problems.
Teemo is almost through the walls to the other side.
Yep.
And if he could send a wave, like, it's still fairly open over there. If he could send the first wave of Paladin over on that side, and a lot of times in BF, before they send that wave of Paladin, they will get the Paladin upgrade and Heresy.
Yeah, that's
because
smart.
there's so many monks on the field, right? So if he could send a big army there, that could be really problematic.
Even just like a bit of if they hold this position and have 4 treps, they take out Andy, they take out Lewis, and Lewis is gone. Lewis has nowhere to really run. Here comes Cavalier from Teemo, actually, going in to snipe the siege here from Andy. Interesting decision. Obviously, Teemo can't help his other teammate yet. Nice pickoffs here from Teemo. And Ganji's team looking to be in a really good position here. Andy's struggling. He still has Geppetto in his eco. He's got 2 remaining there, Ganji, but...
Ooh, Gray needs some help soon.
Yeah. How is he
Gray
not dead, though?
needs some
How
help
did he
soon.
defend against 2 people? How is he imp?
Dude, he's
played
crazy.
so good.
So
he's played so
he
good.
did this the last set they played too. Like, he's not the guy that's going to be pushing most of the time. He's the side that just needs to survive.
Yeah.
And he always manages to survive. Really solid.
That's an important role. A really important role to have. Remember, he played so well to get the forward walls in the first place.
And he's got no room either. Like, it's just a sick hold.
Yeah,
on
it's
this
amazing. And now Teemo should be able to send army that way. Now, what army he sends is tricky because there's monks and halbs there and he's Franks. So I don't actually mind Teemo continuing to send army over to Andy's side right now. But yeah, Andy's going to be toast here, man. Andy is trying to build up
Zach
forward
is
production.
coming.
There's no way that he can keep this forward production here with all this army coming in against him.
Yeah, Zach is coming with some halbs, but we have legionaries from the Romans, and we have scorpions too. And now the paladins are coming in, and Lewis is like, I'll be there in a sec, guys. Lewis is that one friend, like, yeah, just around the corner, and then 25 minutes later.
Yeah. Well, he was busy.
Still
He had a
hasn't
lot
showed
of stops along the way here, Lewis. So there is that. Still liking the random galley he's got patrolling along the ice. But Lewis is going to die if he can't escape, and he might need to make a run for it right now, honestly. Because if this game does go late, you want to at least have some villagers to reboom with. I guess it also is a question of how much does Teemo focus on him versus Andy. I feel like they could easily justify continuing to focus on Andy. Because Andy is the real player propping up this side right now.
The way around that, where you can still focus on Andy and maybe put a little attention on Lewis, is Stonewall in between Andy and Lewis.
Yeah.
Cut off the escape route, and then you just slowly tighten the noose.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, forward walls, forward production buildings, all that could be so important here. Just 64 eco for Andy, for Ganji, by the way. It's not like he's got the craziest eco count. But yeah, now Lewis is trying to run, but he's trying to run when the Paladins are already here. I think just really missed his timings there. And Paladins are going to be in. Siege Rams are taking out his buildings. Horrible situation for Lewis.
Gray lost the castle, though. So now Teemo's Paladin need to come back over here.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of monks there. Aztec monks from Kingston. The TC is going to go down. Zach still has some siege over here, and Zach is getting Elite Keshik. And he's going to send some more units over as Lewis just slowly deflates.
Yeah, and it's now a matter of which player can die slowest between Lewis and Gray. And Gray, in theory, should receive a little bit more support, I think, because his pocket Teemo is not taking any damage. But it's really tricky for a Franks player to know what to do. I think Lightcap being in the mix would make sense, though, because of the amount of monks. We'll see if he can get the numbers. A couple Lightcap going in to kill some monks.
Monk micro is insane.
He's so good.
It's just like the way the units light up like a goddamn Christmas tree, dude. Whenever they push him, it's just instantaneous.
Yeah, and he's got 15 of them. And again, when you're in a position where you need to clear something up, you're thinking, I need to to engage against this now before this gets worse. But if you engage against this now and Ganji is prepared, he's just going to convert your units. But nice fight there for Andy. He's going to clear up most of the monks. Still, there's Paladin and Hal behind. Oh, man. How do they stop this?
Elite Boyar, Elite Keshik is good. But is it good enough to stop the monks and the halbs and the Paladin?
You know
Not
what?
likely. Maybe Flaming Camels could be mixed in here. Who knows?
I think you should consider a couple of them. Yeah.
You only have to make a siege workshop now.
Yeah.
You don't need the castle.
Oh, man. Timo,
Shots,
get out of here, man.
He's stuck.
Well, Dave,
Close.
both teams are going to have an awfully tough time justifying trade right now. This is normally where you'd see that. This might be a no-trade situation where you're just taking the extra gold from the defeated player's base. Like, Lewis's base is completely obliterated. There's stone and gold there to take.
Well, at least Zach can get some gold from his Keshiks.
Yeah, that's true. So Gray's Vil count's at 86. Again, so impressive, but he is losing his base. And he's actually fleeing and walling up behind it just to delay that army from hitting his teammate.
Lewis escaped, by the way. He's got a town center in the north. He got out.
Okay, so he got out with some stuff.
Yep.
He's still producing Vils from all the old eco, so everything there is going to die.
Like, they can't leave him alone here for very much longer because he can always get res from his team. Right now, he's got 2 on food and 1 wood food in the bank, so maybe not the biggest threat, but if he gets thousands of resources from his team at some point, could be a threat.
Look at Abu's TCs in the south right now. Dude, he is going to be on a big quest to reboom himself. He understands the situation he's in. Drop 6 TCs. And that will be much faster than Lewis.
Boom. Oh my god, Kingston made a recovery, dude. 133 Vils.
Yeah.
Holy.
Man, what a game. This is an epic game. I'm again reminded what you're talking about, though, when I look at Andy's base right now. There's like 10 units that are about to be converted because Ganji rather, is always prepared with his monks. And then he's got the siege and the halbs from his opponent to back him up.
How many fingers does Ganji have? We need to check. It feels like he has 15. He just got all those control groups.
He uses, from what I've been told, he uses the F keys, and he also uses like standard control groups. So he could actually control group up to 20 different monks.
Oh my god.
And then it's just like, you click each one, like you hit the hotkey, and then you obviously click the unit. Not easy, but he really has committed a lot of his hotkey scheme to being able to do that. And it's working. I mean, the populations are really close right now, but when I look at the space, at least, well, I was going to say at least Zach and Kingston aren't making progress, but I'm wrong, Dave.
They are.
They are making progress.
Yep.
Dude.
Oh, War Galley and demos in the docks.
Yup.
Kingston, you better stay away from those docks with the monks, dude.
Wow. I mean, a lot of this eco for Andy is going down. That's a problem. I see he's been adding trade from somewhere. That's likely not going to be working all that efficiently. Timo might need to start to tell his teammates, I'm losing ground here, and we need to stop this, and maybe Philip can show up with something. It seems like Philip's waiting with some units there, but then again, it's like you want to continue your push at the same time, because if you don't continue your push, then Andy gets to stabilize. This is a sick game.
Dang.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really, really good. The problem for me right now is that Lewis is not... No one has enough res to send to Lewis.
Yeah.
So they can't get him back in.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe Kingston at some point will. He's almost got all of his techs. He's got a lot of Vils. And that would be the prime candidate for sending resources over there. But they need him back. Even just for monks or halbs or something.
I think another core issue here is Andy's eco is in the middle of the battlefield. He will not have the eco to support this side anymore. And then then everything dies, right? Like, we are at that point now where it is essentially just Zach against Ganji and against Philip. So if I were Andy, I would be telling my team, as we see a demo from Timo on the pikes, that was sick.
Oh, nice.
I'd be telling my team, push that side faster right now because we're losing ground.
Yeah, and your team's like, shut up, dude. We're trying our best.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably assumed at this point. You don't really, maybe don't want to say it exactly like that, but yeah.
Look at this army in the middle of Andy's space. It's just ridiculous. We've got monks healing up all the halbs, the trebs behind. We've got the Gavettos. The trade is still trying to roll through, and Andy's adding more trade.
Andy has one castle. One castle to produce bowyars at this point. If you don't have bowyars, straight halb's not going to cut it against the amount of monks and gebettos that are out
castle from Teemo is still alive as well. How much damage is
Don't give him a cannon galleon, Teemo. Delete the cannon galleon. Don't give it to him. He's made a lot of them. He's trying to micro. The demo actually does weaken some of the monks.
They survived.
I mean, dude, repairing that castle is so important here. It's just a time issue right now.
30k damage. Teemo has gone through so much stone to get this, but it might be worth it. Andy's dying. But Zach is here.
Zach shows up with the Keshiks and his own halbs. There's still a lot of trebs there from the other team that they need to clear up. You have Lewis asking for resources as he's up to 50 vills. Gray is at 120.
The trebs are almost dead, dude.
Yeah, crazy. Druzina came in, by the way, so Andy's halbs are really strong right now. And I guess Ganji and team will have to realize at least they have really good map control, but they're not able to push. And the push continues here from Kingston. It's mainly him, but you do have the trebs from Zach that are still working, which they're Tatar trebs, so if they were fully upgraded, we'd be much happier with the situation there. We might see a lot of monks get demoed here if Teemo's paying attention. His docks are still garrisoned, but Dave, what crazy game. Crazy game, but Ganji's team is 100 more population right now.
Yep. But, I mean, it was a big moment there. They held the push in the middle of Andy's eco, and the trade line was running right through that for Andy.
Yeah.
So he needed to hold that, and at the same time, they took out the castle, and suddenly they're pushing Teemo, and Teemo is just fully focused on this. He doesn't really have the gold supply to sustain Paladin production. Demos come out, not really finding anything.
I think the lack of monks right now for Kingston could be a problem. He has 0 on gold, Dave. So he's got 10 monks, but he cannot make more of them, basically, because he has no gold income, no trade. And so...
No relics. Yeah.
You know, that is the issue. And you look right back, and Philip and Ganji are back in that trade route, back in what is Andy's eco, essentially. And more good engagements for Phillips and Ganji are being found. I'm also noticing markets going up where Lewis's base used to be. So Ganji's team can have some fairly efficient trade considering the circumstances.
Legionary Gebetto is a pretty filthy combo if the Boyars aren't there, and Andy has no castles for the Boyars.
Yeah. He just lost
and
his
this last castle goes down. Trade is dying. They're
also
saying, Kingston, we need you to push. Zach, we need you to push. And they just can't.
Yeah.
Teemo with a good defense.
Yeah. I mean, and you can, even if you're losing your light calf every engagement, as long as you can just make more, it's fine. The issue for a lot of Team Andy right now is they're not going to be able to make more army. It's just such a Ganji thing to see this pond and drop 6 docks here.
Lewis sent 2 stone to freaking Andy and paid
one in tax. Oh my god.
Huge.
I mean, he's trying, but unfortunately a lot of his eco is still back where he started. So that Vil count I'm seeing from him, a large percentage of that is still next to the battlefield, which is not what he wants.
Teemo repairing another castle. He's just trying to die as slowly as possible.
Yeah. Like Cav, thinking about it. Can't go through there. There's a wall from Kingston. Nice shot from him. But I think we might be close to a GG, Dave. You know, just because of the amount of progress that Philip and Ganji have made here. Andy is really struggling.
Andy? That's all he can afford. Siege Onager.
Oh, true. Yeah, I mean, he probably received resources for that research because his eco's non-existent. But you need something more than what is currently happening for you. So you need some greater extreme.
God, that castle's still up from Teemo. Oh my, how much stone has this man bought this game? Or got sent, or like, jeez.
And now Gray is going full Hussar. Keep in mind, we haven't seen Gray really doing much offensively. He's set up to do so now. He's going to go full Hussar. He's been adding trade behind this as well. And the demo almost connects at the end. The GGs are called. What a sick job from Team Ganji to survive this one, because there were so many annoying things. They were walled off. They had Lewis in their eco. Ganji's castle denial almost got denied, or was denied for a long period of time. Sick hold. And honestly, for me, it's like, you look at the top score, you see Teemo and Philip, they played great, right? But I think Ganji and his push
Gray.
and Abu, Abu's holds against 2 people and an Imperial Age player, unbelievable job from them.
Gray nuked Kingston completely at the start.
Yeah.
Like nuked him,
Yep.
right? Even after the lames came in, and then he held forever. And Timo, obviously, I think Timo did a really solid job because we weren't really paying attention to how he was helping Gray, even though he was walled off and he had all this other garbage in the back of his base.
Yep.
Really solid job there. I think Lewis maybe, don't add the ranges. Maybe go up to Castle Age first. Or if you're going to add the ranges, just stick with 2. You don't need the 3rd.
Yeah,
you don't need to delay your Castle Age so long.
It was a bit extreme. And then also, Gray had that perfect recognition of, I need to flee with everything now and get 6 TCs up. And for Lewis, when there were opportunities for him to flee, it didn't seem like he did. And he was just a little late to recognizing he needed to run. And I think that just comes down to Lewis plays a lot of Arabia, right? Gray might be the worst individual 1v1 player on open maps, but he plays Black Forest all the time.
He's a role player.
Yeah.
And he did it perfectly.
He knew. Like, I just love it. Just so many things. Like, he knew he needed to be out of the game for a while, but when he came back with trade, it was going to be insane. He even added the unique building for the Hindustanis in the trade. So he's trading, and he's got those set up as well to speed up the trade. So
what's that called again, Tristan? Can't remember. What's it called again?
Caravanserai?
I noticed. That's close. I don't even know how to say it. Caravanserai, I think. But I noticed how you said the unique building, and you deliberately avoided the name for it.
I mean, I was close. There's a caravan and there's an Issarai, But I think the Persians get that now as well, so we might see that another time in this series. But anyways, scores 1-0 here for Team Ganji. That was sick. I think one more thing to mention, Andy had like an uncontested boom, and it felt like he never really had the army. So I'm not sure. Maybe we missed some things, but he struggled a little bit.
He did come forward with the siege to deny the castle from Ganji.
True.
So there was an investment. He had knights and he had siege early.
Yeah.
So Andy is adding in the fish as well. So he had 2 TC and he added in the fish. Whereas you look at Philip went insta 3 TC and then 4th TC before he got hit by Lewis.
Yeah. That's true. There's so many different factors that one has to pay attention to. But man, I'm still not over the fact that Gray didn't die there. But that's the first game in this final. We hopefully have more games that are this competitive in Amigo Wars. But that one definitely felt like, at least in the early stages, that Team Andy had all the advantages. And Team Ganji brought it back. Good stuff. Here we are. And we've got Game 2 between Team Andy, Team Ganji here in the Amigo Wars 2 final. Expectation is Andy on the flank here as Bohemians will fight Ganji with this very narrow choke point. And there's also a second choke point. And then the other side will be Lewis.
Super narrow. Long choke point.
Yeah.
2 of them, too.
And lots of
there's
boars
there. So I think Kingston will send forward a Vil, and Lewis is definitely going to send a Vil forward here. And the only question is, when Lewis gets this wall up, does he send the Vil in as a sneak?
I think we could have this Vil war between Ganji and Andy for at least 8 minutes here. Like neither player is going to want to settle for a safe wall, and it's going to go on for a while.
We might have a situation I've seen before where both players get the wall up, but it's actually behind the enemy's wall. So then there's like a little arena in the center where they can fight. What is it this time, guys?
Another bugged dock, potentially, because Kingston's fish...
He's got 2
fish. So last time it was 1 fish and they restarted it.
I think 2 is okay, though. Like, there's only 3 on the other pawns.
They talked about it. 2 fish is enough, 11. Ganji says yes. And, okay, so they're going to continue.
Nice.
The scout from Philip was a bit further away just because of how they started. So he wasn't actually able to support Ganji as quickly as he would have wanted. And
Ganji will not let this wall stand.
Yeah.
Like, amazing gate, too.
Ooh. A villager is still in there from Andy as well. So this is the expectation on Black Forest, is we have a lot of Vil rushing early. Kingston's villagers getting pushed back by Abu, by the way. And then you also have Lewis sneaking a Vil. Maybe
I knew
multiple.
He would send her in, bro. I knew he would send this villain. Here she comes. And he's distracting with the eagle too, and he got his wall up. And look, he's sending another villager in.
This is
One
what he
is
did
not
the
enough
first
for him.
game. This
One
is what
is
he
not
did the
enough.
first game.
Timo is gonna spot that Vil, and this is the thing. I've been saying it for years, Tristan. You know exactly what I'm gonna say here. They always find the first one. They never expect the second one.
But I wonder if they do this time because Lewis had two previously, right? That could be part of it. But you can't do anything about the Vil if the Vil's loomed. That Vil could go anywhere. You've got to be careful how far you travel if you're Lewis, though, because there are some leopards out there.
I think he wants to get... Well, he's going to wall those in easy. I think he wants to go get a dock on one of these pawns from Philip.
Timo's looking for her right now, and it's not going to find her.
Timo sees the eagle. He might be able to coordinate with the snow leopard and kill the Vil.
Okay, Lewis... Yeah, the other Vil's going to be there. He has to rewall some of this. Timo finds that the villager is walled in now. So that's good tracking from Timo.
He's going to try and wall this snow leopard in.
Yeah.
Here we go. Snow leopard comes in. Lewis is like,
bonk.
Hey, bro.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a way to do it. Timo's brought a Vil, though, to track this.
Meanwhile, Ganji trying to take these 3 boars. Andy's like, nah, dude.
There's, I think Ganji's okay because the scout support that is there, and this
Watch
is what
the way
Ganji
he brings
did.
These back.
Do you remember he
It's
did
so
this in
good.
Hidden Cup on evacuation, where he just builds these palisades and the boars don't hit him? Yeah, does it again. That's so impressive.
I figured out the way that's intuitive to do this is that you put the palisade in between you and the boar, but you can actually build the palisade to the side and then change your angle of the villager.
I'm going to pretend I know. I'm going to pretend I'm envisioning
easier.
what you're saying as I
Okay.
watch this. I mean, just so impressive that he's been able to do that. He's made it look so easy. So many people would have lost all of their, villagers there on multiple attempts, and he gets the boars. But now Lewis's walls on both sides do nothing for him because they're
Well,
open.
he's got the villager on the pond now from Timo. And Timo's like, not this, not it. Why this pond? Go to the other one. Not this again.
Oh,
Come on.
yeah, Timo, even using the fishing ship as part of the trap here. Is he trying to block the villager so the villager can't hit the other wall? Because does that work here? Look at that fishing ship.
He can't repair the wall.
Oh,
I
the
guess,
fishing
but
ship! The fishing ship
just
moved!
runs away. Yep.
Interesting technique.
But I mean, Lewis can't make a dock either, so
Yeah.
that's okay. Ganji also has a sneak villager
Ooh.
in, and he's going towards Dratek's base, and Dratek could be easily just fully trapped in this corner by Ganji.
Yeah. What an interesting game. Also,
As
Andy
Lewis
has a sneak
now
vil
pushes.
too. We missed that. Andy has a sneak vil. He's trying to lame. So that boar's just
Dock
gonna
this
die.
bro. He's got 2 sneak vills. He's got 3 sneak vills. He's got
I've
one near the
only
pond
found 2 of
from
them.
Philip. There's
Oh,
2
yeah,
of them
I
there,
see
and then
him.
There's
Okay.
one near the pond from Philip as Lewis continues to repair the walls.
Dude, I love this. I love myself
I know.
some sneak vils. You know, with Black Forest, I think what can be a little disappointing at times is when players just settle for the walls and then it's just a big boom fest. This is great. Great job from Abu here to bring in these boars as well. Love that house. Look at that house from Gray. You could tell he got housed at one point during the wall fest and just
No,
placed
he
it
might have-
right next to the TC.
He might have tried to stall out a boar like he used to be able to do,
Yeah, maybe.
and then they ended up building it, potentially.
Okay, so fun to watch, maybe not fun to play. We'll see what happens here. There's a chance that multiple players can build armies in Feudal Age to damage the other.
Lewis is so funny. Like, every time he gets trapped in one of these areas, he just slowly starts to build an additional palisade wall, one at a time, and expand his little zone. It's so stupid.
I do wonder what the plan is for Lewis on the back of this. Because in the previous game, it was like he wanted to be aggressive and feudal. But here it feels like he should just fast castle. Just nerd out with the Vil, but don't realistically commit to an attack with just one Vil
Oh.
there.
Oh, Ganji's Sneakville might be discovered. That's a barracks going up for Dratek. What's the vision going to look like when he makes units out of this? Maybe he'll make scouts
He
too.
shouldn't see the... Oh, he does see the palisade. Ooh. Well, then what you do is you immediately wall that in. So I can't escape. You build 3 palisades, wall that in. Because, I mean, if Ganji notices you there, Ganji could run away.
Andy's on the run with one of his sneak fills. And Ganji trying to trap it. Ganji!
Dude, I'm looking at the other villager from Andy.
Oh, sorry.
Andy also quick-walled. Andy also quick-walled next to Philip's dock. Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Andy's got so many vills running around.
Oh, that was an insane quick wall from Andy, and he gets the dock up. 1 HP.
That'll be denied.
2 HP on the villager.
That'll act one of the rare times where a galley actually kills it. Because the galley's on the way from Philip, and it needs 1 hit. And actually, no, the galley can be canceled now. I don't know. Maybe you want to make it anyways. Oh my god, dude. Philip canceled the galley because he killed the vill, and now Andy has another vill coming to complete the dock.
Did that vill escape? No, I don't think that was the vill that escaped the trap from Ganji. I think that was the 3rd villager. And Lewis managed to get his dock up, too.
What?
He fought back the fishing ships for so long, they kept trying to block him, and every time he'd stab them, they'd move away, and he's in Feudal Age and he has a dock, and Timo's like, really? And the villager's on the run. She's done her job and she's leaving, bro.
Oh, man. Philip is going to be so annoyed to see that this dock is going up from Andy. He wants that safe fish boom. Lewis will not lose
Lewis
this villager.
is going to wall this villain. He's trying to find an area where he can wall this villain from Timo.
Yep,
Bop,
there
bop.
it is. There it is. Yep.
See ya.
All right, so now Timo gets even more annoyed. Now we've seen instances where players with quick walls could do this 4 times over. Let's see. Oh, okay. Philip tried to trap her. It's a very weak villager, though. And yeah, okay. So Philip has Andy's vill on his dock, and then he has Lewis's vill in his eco.
Ganji's going for a dock.
Ganji's going for a dock with his sneak, which was never killed, which is notable. And Lewis's villager's still alive. We see 4 players on the way to Castle Age, 2 from each team. And we actually have towers from Lewis. This guy doesn't know how to chill, dude. He doesn't know how to chill. He can just sit behind his walls and boom. But he's going to tower rush here. Feels like a very weird position to try and go towers when your opponent has such a long corridor to just stonewall behind.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he's on the team for, clearly, right? It's just make it messy, be aggressive, let his teammates do the rest.
Dude, that fish trap is just not going to make it from Philip. Oh, maybe. He's got more fires. Andy's still contesting over here. Andy going for the barracks as well. Lewis just demoing fishing ships from Timo.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Ganji's forward villager still alive, by the way. Beautiful job from him. So he's been able... Like, that, to me, is a big deal in this game because Dratic had a position he could have potentially cleared that.
Yeah.
But, you know, Dratic is going to siege push Ganji, and Ganji might sense this possibility. Ganji even scouts it. Look at that. Brought the spear over from the forward. Scouts it's going to be siege from his opponent. And, I mean, he's not up yet, so that could be a really bad thing for him. But it's good for him that he knows and can share that intel with his teammate.
There's another demo coming from Lewis, and he's got a fire galley in there. Timo isn't careful. Could run into problems on that pond. We see throughout this whole process, Abu has been bringing in boars like crazy.
Yeah.
Like these, I think these are like 7, 8, 9 extra boars that he's brought in.
For some reason, you're just now, it'll probably go away as we have a lot of demos in action. For some reason, your mic randomly started making little staticky noises.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So okay, he's going to rejoin. Robo Dave. The AI is so advanced. Impersonating Dave. What a messy game here, guys. A messy game, but Dratic's successful push through into Ganji's base could be a real problem for Ganji here. Ganji still isn't clicked up. He would need support from Philip.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yep, it's good now.
Cool.
Dude, I was just saying that Philip needs to support Ganji, and it's quite an awkward situation for him because he's had to deal with so many other things. And so Andy's like, harassing him on his fish, which he has to defend. And now he's being told by Ganji, yo, support me here. I've got knights coming into my base. Really tricky.
Well, Timo also going for a forward castle on the walls from Lewis.
Ooh.
So Timo with the Spanish, if he gets in with the Conquistadors, is going to be a problem, especially considering the fact he now has a free pond. He's cleared of Lewis's dock, and he's got 2 town centers behind that. So Lewis will need to protect Kingston. Kingston is kind of their boomer in this situation. He's got a pond of his own. And, well, Ganji is still just being an absolute menace to the other team captain here.
He did attack Andy and kill a couple of villagers with spears and an archer. And, yeah, I mean, it's just been back and forth, man. Crazy.
Back at the pond from Philip in time for a demo to just solo a monk that was standing on the ice. Why the monk was there, I don't know. Fish traps are going to go down, too.
Well, Andy's still got 2 docks pumping there. It's funny that Andy's losing his pond while he's taking out Philip's pond, but I think it is more important for Andy to be having success with his attacks because it is Philip, the pocket, who should have that safe boom, right? Like
Gray is on the way to Imp.
Dratek and Kingston have had a safe boom this whole time, and Imp?
Yeah, man, I told you how many boars he brought in, and these Italians. Like, this guy has just been feasting on boars. He doesn't have a single farm. He doesn't have any vills on the berries. He has just been eating boars this whole time, bro.
Interesting. So that means he's going to be going for monks and support. So it's going to be monks to, I guess, convert the walling villagers or something.
Yeah, forward castle, trebs, monks.
These games, like, I didn't cast the other Amigo Wars games. I did watch a lot of them. It feels like these games have been so much less structured than the earlier rounds. Like, this final's been bonkers, man. So messy. I'm loving this.
Okay, Castle Age coming in for Lewis. And Lewis, well, he's got a lot of wood in the bank. He's got a lot of stone, so he might be thinking about a big boom or something. But, I mean, when he sees this imp timing from Gray, maybe he needs to change his plans a little bit, unless he thinks Kingston can hold against this.
I think, like, I just want to see Lewis boom. I know, like, booming with the Incas isn't that exciting, but he's done a lot aggressively in this series. I think this is one of the rare times where he just needs to drop 2, 3, 4 TCs and just
4 TCs.
You can help out later, right? Because Kingston's doing so well economically already. He doesn't. If he can't defend against a 37 pop fast imp, then, you know, it's trouble anyway. So.
Well, I mean, you're going to have the conks behind it too. So it's a little. It's not just that Imperial Age push. And now Gray is going to drop a castle on Lewis's side. So Kingston is all fortified here, but Lewis is not. Lewis still only has stonewalls, and he has to deal with an Imperial Age opponent while he's trying to boom.
Thing is, Gray can't make... Okay, now he's dropping the castle. Now he's making some siege. Okay, I was going to say, Gray can't make progress through Kingston's side. That is a lot of fortified walls. But this side from Lewis needs to go for more walls behind this right now. Wall that up and hold. Crazy stuff, by the way, from Ganji to still not be dead. Ganji's still in feudal age, dude. Like, he still hasn't clicked up.
I mean, Ganji did a lot of work up against Andy there, but Andy has still been doing work with these docks. Like I said, he took out a monk, he took out a bunch of fish traps. Philip just can't boom on this pond anymore.
I'm loving how Ganji hasn't died. Like, he didn't receive any support from Philip. And there's been a siege workshop and monastery next to him for so long. But finally, Dratek's coming out with the scorpions. Okay, now you need help if you're Ganji. Now you need some form of, like, stable support. You've done a lot offensively considering the circumstances. But if you die here, this puts more pressure on Gray and on Teal to kill Lewis. And Lewis is adding walls. We see petards now. We see bombard cannons. We'll see
not
trebs.
The play, right? Like, you got to go trebs here, I think.
I think a combination of bombard cannons and petards, I don't mind. It helps out. But additional stonewalls. This is what we talked about earlier before the series. It's like, you have to know when you're playing Black Forest that this is the play, and it's very abnormal to just extend walls like this even behind the trees. I love it, though.
And sometimes you start out with the... In Philip's eco, bro! Oh, my! They're all lined up! The human centipede of demo victims.
Andy,
My
Andy
God.
just being so stubborn. And he finally makes it to Castle Age and drops TCs. But yeah, in these situations, you just have to keep doing what you can to push. There was no way that Lewis, or at least, Kingston, for the time being, can defend these monks and these conquistadors without walls.
Ganji. Alert, Ganji's base.
Oh, God. Philip, I could be wrong, right? I don't know what these teams are communicating. Ganji might have said, I'm okay. But to me, if the player with 100 eco went 3 stable light cav, this gets cleared, right? And this isn't a problem. The knights themselves aren't actually the issue.
Yeah, but it's good to have a boomer.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now, Dratek is the guy, and he's soloing against the dude in Feudal Age.
Yeah, that's true.
And that means that Philip's eco is going to be way far ahead of him. It would have been considerably more ahead if he had kept that pawn or not lost those 10 vills earlier. But now he's in a position where he can spam units, and Ganji is going to be a little bit nuked, but he's not going to be full dead, and maybe he can kill Andy before he booms up, or maybe he can kill Dratek before he's fully boomed.
This is getting scary right now for Lewis. Because I know he's got all these walls, but when there's petards and 4 bombard cannons, the walls go down very, very quickly.
And Teemo is on the way to Imp with a very nice eco.
Yep.
Most fish in the game. Multiple TCs.
Ganji's got to stay alive here. Do what he can. And yeah, you're right. Like, maybe that was communicated. Like, Ganji's like, listen, I'm out of the game anyways. Don't help me yet. Let me just soak up that pressure, and you can click up to Imp before you send pressure. And Philip is about to be an Imp. He is massing infantry right now.
The concerning thing here is if Philip can't kill them fast enough, Andy's on 4 TCs.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
Andy might be able to get back into the
Andy
game
will be
way
really strong.
faster than Ganji.
This is the Castle Age TC right now for Ganji, by the way. I don't know if we'll make it, Dave. That's a lot of siege. That's a lot of knights. He doesn't have any spearmen anymore. He's going to lose this TC. This is really bad for Ganji. He goes for the ram. He doesn't get it yet. He goes for it now. He doesn't get it. No!
Oh, it's so weak. He
Got
gets
it.
The Castle Age is still 60% away. And
Yeah.
this TC goes down anyway.
Progress here from Gray, though, on Lewis. Lewis is going to start to lose TCs. He's going to start to lose walls. The conks and the cannons and the petards, everything could be through. There's castles behind there from Kingston, but Kingston needs army here.
That is the 8th layer of fortified wall that he was working on, and he's given up on.
Well, yeah, he's given up on it. We have Heresy now for Kingston, and Kingston's going to go Hussar. Kingston's got quite a few stables. He's getting the upgrades. This could be a clear up from Kingston. We might actually see Red shift delete these walls. I don't know if you want to delete all of them.
162 fortified walls he's made. Actually, more.
Yeah. Oh,
my
Dave,
God.
other side. Ganji's TC has to be rebuilt, but we have pikes. We have conks. We have some condos even here from Philip, and Philip's going to drop a castle in that position. They want to reclaim these lands. And finally, Ganji gets some support. Obviously, he's pretty much out of the game at the moment. And I think if you're Andy, you just wall up and make sure that this pressure does not make it to you.
Look at Teemo's resources. Oh my God. Kingston better push this back quick, bro. Because
Dude.
Teemo's getting ready to go.
Okay, here we go. Mamelukes and light cav. Walls need to be deleted. Lewis needs to open this up. He does open it up. The light cav get the perfect position, and every monk should die. The Mamelukes then can kill everything else here, Dave. And beautiful patience from Kingston and from Lewis will lead to... Well, I'm waiting for the full clear up. I thought they were going to full clear it up.
He did get a lot of conversions. And I think the castle might actually go up. So that was... the shift to lead on the fortified walls is so satisfying, bro. But I think, honestly, that was really great monk micro from Gray to get as much out of that situation as possible.
Yeah, there needs to be Trebs here from Kingston. He was expecting to deny this castle, but he does clear everything. I do wonder if shift deleting all the walls, as satisfying as it is the play. I feel like you might actually want some if Teemo shows up.
They don't know what Teemo's got in the bank here.
That's true.
Teemo's going to be coming in. Now, there are Mamluks, which is a really good solution against the Paladin, but there's only 3 of them.
But there's only 3 of them, right? And you just lost a castle, and you're now using the other castle to make Trebs. Gray's castle could actually stay up here if Teemo gets enough Cavalier in there to snipe that Treb.
Also, all of the production buildings for Dratek, who is the other pocket that's supposed to be booming right now, were forward, and they're all being cleared.
Yeah.
And Ganji is going for a 4 TC boom to get back into the game.
See signals from Lewis, like saying, can we cut here? Interesting signals from him. Maybe talking about the middle path. But, you know, we'll see what Lewis could do. Now, Lewis is in him, but he's lost a lot of his base. Nice job from Kingston to support him. Onager cut here from Philip. Philip is in now on Andy. Andy's not an imp yet. Andy falling apart.
Food, please.
But being an imp with the Bohemians could lead to him making cannons to push this back. But nice job from Philip yet again, dude. Just crazy eco,
Also,
crazy boom.
We have Spanish Italians for trade.
True.
On the side of
But-
Ganji.
But look what Dratic did with those vills. He walled up the trade area in Ganji's eco. There's this wall. It's a bit of an interesting wall, but still it's a wall where you would place markets. And he knows that they're going to try and trade. And so he's blocked that position off. He's got those vills there for later, too. That's interesting.
First Crusade coming in. He needs army
Yeah.
of some kind. And that's going to get him instantaneous army. It's still a hold over there for Lewis and Kingston.
Love the towers
But
here from
Timo's
Philip.
waiting.
Love the
Timo's
towers
coming
from
the
Philip.
other direction. Timo is coming over to Andy, and so is Kingston. So they both sense you can't get through on the other side yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got to make something happen here fast, though, because Ganji is out of the game. And he's not going to be in the game anytime soon. So they need to
he's a
find an
monk civ.
opening, and they need to
He's a
ensure
monk
that
civ
they're
to a
doing
extent.
damage there.
He could get back in the game quite quick with
Yeah.
Burmese, I think.
Honestly, if someone could just spare the food for him, send some food so we can get Imp, and then he could just control some monks, that'd be really valuable. But big population lead for Team Andy. Here comes Kingston. Kingston trying his best to get in against the Trebs. Philip walling it up. Does feel like, though, Trebs are still going to go down to these Lycav. The Lycav are actually lacking a few upgrades, but still, I mean, it's a food unit against Trebs. Where's the army right now from Philip? He must be distracted.
Philip's waiting for chemistry to come in.
Oh,
I think
man.
He can get hand cannon. He loses all of those Trebs.
Dude, I
wow.
mean, he had Halb, right? Just a couple Halbs, 5 to 6 Halbs there, probably defends most of those Trebs. It's not hard against Lycav, but he just was not prepared for that switch. I also think a lot of his production was back in his base. Maybe a little distracted there. But now the Paladins are here from Timo. Wow, Timo's going to run into monks and sergeants here. Elite sergeants from Dratic. And soon to be upgraded monks here from Andy. It will be tough for those Paladins to break. Sergeants. Should be really good against Halbs. Their armor's pretty solid. I think if you have a mix of sergeants and Halbs, it's actually really strong here. Unless your opponent has like heavy siege and archers. Ooh.
I mean, the towers are still a problem, but they do have good pierce armor,
Yeah.
right? And Elite Mameluke now on the way for Kingston, as Kingston is also pushing back the castles. He can get counterweights too, so his Treb push would be pretty dangerous. And Gray can't really push on that side too. He's still a little bit behind a villager count. He's at 89, but it makes sense because of the fast imp that he pulled off.
Lewis going to go for Elite Cameo here. That's probably the best unit you can offer here with the Incas. That and some monks. But other than that, I don't know if Arbalest is really the play. They are trading in this area, Dave. So if Gray and Teal could push through here, would end the game. But that's a lot of castles. I love the fortifications. Still feels like Team Andy's just way ahead with Pop. They've got 4 players playing the game right now. Ganji's got to get in this
spotted
game.
the walls behind. Timo's signaling the walls behind from Dratek, like, hey, guys, we got to take care of this stuff back here.
Yeah, you're right. Italian bonuses mean cheaper trade. Spanish bonus means you get more gold per trip, but they haven't really been able to trade that much yet. It's been the other team that's had the trade position locked.
I think, like, but positionally, I like Ganji's team better. They just have way more map space, it feels like. They have, you know, 2/3 of the map right now.
Yeah, if they can hold it. If they can hold it, I agree with you here. The sergeants are going to kill most of those Halbs. There's Mamelukes here from Kingston as well. This is now the moment here for Team Andy to push that space. Deny that trade long term, and then you can beat the Spanish. That's a massive clear up. There's like nothing left for Philip anymore. Remember, he won't have Ganji. Oh, the converted onager kills some hand cannons.
I was wondering why he attack grounded his own units, and then I realized that Andy had actually converted that. That was a sick conversion. Also, Sicilian or sergeants are taking less bonus damage from hand cannons.
Yeah, true. And I think also the fact that you could go above 200 pop, like if you do it right, you get to 200 pop, you research the tech, and then you're at like 230, 240. It gives this first initial attack so much strength. And he's continuing to make dungeons, and he's continuing to make the sergeants. And they don't care about your tower fire either. It's a really good unit. And with siege behind this from Andy, pretty soon all these fortifications might go down. Yeah, at this point, like, you'd be hoping that Timo and Abu are telling you they're making progress, but they're even getting pushed back.
Where has Timo been is my question. He had so many resources. He was going into Paladin, and the Paladin never got a big engagement.
Yep.
Maybe we probably missed something, but I mean, this is not the fight you want to take against Cameos. In a choke point. Cameos and Mamluks.
Yeah, Cameos are so much cheaper as well compared to a Paladin. And yeah, there's just so many strong units out in the field right now for Team Andy. And it's looking rough as still ground is going to be lost. Ganji's 2.5 minutes away from him. Could they have maybe sent him resources? Got him onto some monks,
well,
which he loves.
Maybe Timo did. I don't know.
Yeah, true. It always felt like that early push from Philip with all those trebs, that was working. If they could have continued that push, maybe then they could essentially have more room to fall back to in this area, but they couldn't push too far. Every tower that Philip has made is going down. Every building he made is getting converted. It was really tough to ever stop this one.
Andy's converting the trade. Send him back.
I mean, if they have gold as well, it's like, let's go. Trade heist.
Yep. And Donjin's forward with the sergeants to support them. Ganji is almost an imp. Almost there. And that TC is really close to the front line, so he's got to be careful about that one. I looked it up. Timo actually slung Gray 4,000 res, and he slung Ganji like 1,500.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, too, because Gray was fast in. Like, Gray was never working with a lot of eco this game. He was only working off of 30 or so villagers initially.
And you definitely want Genbo over here against these two civs.
Yeah, so he probably gave him resources, propped him up. It also felt like, what were the Paladins finding when they took engagements? They were finding Mamelukes?
Oh, they
were finding monks and halbs. Yeah, so it's just like there was no area for the Paladins to really accomplish much.
They needed an onager. Maybe onager tech from Gray would have been better than going into bombard cannons right away, and then you just cut through somewhere. But I mean, Kingston had these choke points locked down. We saw Lewis walling behind the wood lines. It was just tough.
Yeah, Mamelukes are also in the trade
MTC got
now.
denied.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, that's not good. He did click up again, but there's Mamelukes through and into the trade. It looks like those Mamelukes are going to go down near the pond from Philip. But still, they did kill some trade, and I mean, these guys are fighters. There's someone on the team right now who's saying, hey, we've got this. But I'm struggling to see where the positives are. The GG's called, and we have a 1-1 here in our Amigo Wars final.
Great job from Team Andy. Ganji tried to he made it super messy for Andy, but maybe similar to Lewis last game, maybe invested too much, right? And then he got pushed back here. I think the reason Philip didn't help him more early is because he was Koreans.
Yeah, maybe.
So even if you go into like Knights or something, your Civ just isn't that good. You got to wait until you're fully boomed. Also, Andy, so much harassment with that pawn. Even later on in the game, past those demos, he still had galleys and a demo raft in that pond. Like, if we just looked at that pond, there was so much activity.
There was always something happening, yeah. And, you know, he was still kind of trying to defend his pond. He was still getting attacked by spearmen and archers. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games I think Andy played insanely well, but the score doesn't necessarily show it. But, yeah, I think the missed opportunity, again, we kind of talked about it, did feel like Ganji knew there was going to be Siege Monk. He was already up against Knights. There was no support coming his way, but it's really hard for Philip to support when he has Andy in his pond. Andy had walled him off, and he wanted that free boom. So, GG.
And like I said
Well
Like
played.
I said, Gray's a support player. Like he's a role player. I've seen him. I'm sure he can. I'm sure he's really good at pushing through on a side. But usually when I see him find success, it's in that defensive mode, right?
Mhm.
So if you're relying on him and Timo to be pushing on the other side against Lewis and Kingston, I think you're gonna run into trouble.
Yeah, Kingston did such a good job with the fortified wall, right? Like, there's so obviously this is the final of this event, so you would expect everyone here to do it, but I think there's many black players playing on Black Forest who could do everything else that Kingston and Lewis did, but when it was time to fully fortify wall, 6, 8, 10 layers, a lot of players would be resistant to that idea. So that was the big thing for them. GG. I also really like the opening. How many times have we seen someone open with their best comp in early imp when getting pushed?
Mm-hmm.
And Kingston said, no. I don't need my best comp. It's against monks, stupid. So I'm just going to go light cap. And that was perfect. Again, a very easy trap to fall into is to maybe go for Mameluke initially, go for Camel, go for Arbalest, and then the comp the enemy had would push you back. So, any predictions on how many villagers Lewis gets into the enemy eco this game, Dave?
I don't really see many paths to be undiscovered, but I think, okay, bear with me. I think he sneaks one. Okay, you're gonna think he sneaks it in the north side, but I think he goes up the north side, crosses down below the berries, and then sneaks along the southern edge of the wood line from Gray and ends up walling the villager into the left side of that pond.
That is a very specific spot. Dude, if you call that, that would be unreal. Yep. I think there might be a restart.
Let's count. We're fish counting again.
Okay.
4 fish versus 3 fish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Equal ponds are fine. Relics. There is a relic that is stuck in the far corner.
If we see a restart because a relic is stuck, you could cut through that, right?
I mean, they usually don't restart because of that. Let's see what.
Okay, no, it was just a traditional pause.
It was Kingston.
Okay, so flanks are going to rush here. It's 1-1 here in this final. We got Lewis doing Lewis things, bringing the Vills forward.
This really sucks with Gajaras though, because you got to spend that wood on the mill first.
Oh, true. So it does really slow down your start. In some ways, I think the berries could be helpful though, and the extra food income could be helpful in the Vill War. There's also wolves towards the middle, which Lewis actually was able to get by one. And my game's paused again here. This is just not the time these guys want to be pausing, but they want to make sure the map gen's fair.
For Timo. No, it's Kingston pause first, and then Timo has hotkey issues. So
what hotkey is he trying to use here that he didn't use in the first 2 games?
I don't know, dude. Maybe he's trying to drop off res with the new drop off command.
Yeah, it's like we went to imp both games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Andy also gave him the double question mark when he said hotkeys, maybe thinking what I thought. But okay, big engagement here. This is awkward, man. Like, this is a very important choke point, but it is such a long distance for Lewis to travel. I think it should be easier for Gray to long-term get this wall up just because of how close he is to, reinforcing with the new villagers here.
Every single palisade wall Lewis makes, that's wood out of the bank, right?
Yeah.
He might find himself in a situation where he doesn't have enough wood for a house. He's got to be real careful with this forward push just because of Gajaras.
Oh, villager could also be trapped in here if he doesn't delete a palisade and escape. Gray did misclick. And now Lewis's villager is trapped there. This is the part of Black Forest that some people love. This is the part of Black Forest that some people could do without. But this is always part of high-level Black Forest. It has to happen. And I'm interesting from Gray. Like, if I'm winning the Vill War, might think I actually want to go further forward to get walls down. But he's just going to play it safe here against Lewis. Because Lewis has snuck Vills so many times.
And Lewis is going to the middle now with this Vill.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, we did have massive Vill fighting on the other side as well, with Ganji up against Philip. And Ganji has taken some losses, but it seems like he's going to get the walls down. I mean, there's also Andy here. Why is Andy here with the Vill?
Why not? I mean, he went right past Ganji's base. And, he just kept running.
Yeah, I guess so. Interesting. Oh, I got a little
Lewis's
confused,
Villa
actually.
still
These
on the
walls
move.
from Ganji was a wall next to his ally.
Yep.
So I got
He was
confused
trying
with
to
the
keep
wall
out the vills.
position. Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to keep out the vills. I think he might have been confused at some point too. Andy's trying to wall in this vill from Ganji. The villager goes down from Andy, and he was in the midst of building a house, so he might be housed there in a second.
Bro,
Lewis
I don't-
has been walled in. Lewis has been walled in by Timo. A revenge of Timo. Lewis has been harassing him this entire set, and Timo's like, "You take that," and he's not just gonna wall him in.
He's gonna kill it.
He's gonna wall him in
Yep.
and then vill fight it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's really smart. Really well played from Timo. I mean, just like the previous games, there's so many vills running through. It's kind of hard to spot them. But we see that one. Andy's still quick walling in the back of Philip's base. Philip is probably like, guys, can we not let Andy in my base again? Because last time was brutal.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, faster villager with the Berbers, but there's a scout here now. So you should tell the scout to block and the villager to attack. That's how you do this. You never attack
Get
with
the
the
cow
scout.
involved. Get the cow involved in this whole situation.
Honestly, it might help. This would be a really impressive quick wall.
Almost. He's trying to use the corners, trying to use the angles. The cow.
Oh my god. Oh my.
The cow. Oh, we got that, bro. What?
Wait, no he didn't. No he
get
didn't.
that
No he
one?
didn't. No he didn't.
He'll save it.
Nah, this Ville's
won't
dead.
save it.
This Ville's dead.
Dead.
Oink, she dead. Make sure you delete those palisade walls there, Andy. Get that
That is
wood.
12 palisade walls. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Lewis is being walled in even more with the villager forward, and they've managed to deny all of the sneaks.
Mm-hmm.
So well played from Team Ganji.
Ooh.
Suddenly, freaking Andy's team needs to play a little bit more meta here.
Look
But Lewis
at
is coming forward. He wants to free her.
look at the walling from Timo. Timo is going to wall very far forward with these chokes, and he now can sneak a villager on them. And he's Magyars. So if you get a player to go scouts here from within your opponent's base, you could hit all 4 players. They cannot allow this to happen. They got to find that Vill. Lewis sees it now, so the shoe's on the other foot for Lewis. He's going to have to defend from sneak villagers himself.
Yep. Dude, if Lewis gets through this wall from Gray and then gets a dock on the pond from Timo, Timo is going to lose his mind. That'd be like the third game in a row where that's not even his guy and he's being harassed by him.
Yeah. And Timo still trying to sneak. Gray still trying to keep the walls up. Meanwhile, Dratek is bringing in boars. Dratek's had a pretty chill game. We haven't said his name much. That's good. Good for them, especially with Dravidians. They can get... Dravidians are underrated, I think, Black Forest Pocket. Even without the potential to fish, I think this Civ can be insane.
Good elephant archers, great SO as
Siege.
well.
Yep. And the
Yeah.
extra wood helps you so much with boom build.
Ooh, Timo! Okay, Timo.
Lewis is not impressed. He's like, I could still do it better than you. Yeah, nice try. Nice try. Nice try. Go ahead.
he
Kill
did
my
already-
camel.
He did already wall in one of his sneak fills, right?
Yeah, true.
Oh, Timo, let's go, dude.
Dude, we just got... Now we got Andy. Did you see Andy's got another Vill here? He just walled in a wolf? I don't know if Team Ganji knows about that Vill.
How did Andy get this vill? I guess he went through the middle.
Dude,
Oh my! He's gonna show up at Timo's base.
I
and
wish
Timo's
we
gonna
had a
be like,
heat
"I
map
thought-"
hotkey so we could just see on the mini map how they got there. I assumed that the sneaks were finished, but apparently not.
Oh man, Gray is just repairing these walls in time too. Lewis is gonna be in Feudal Age a little bit faster.
Yeah,
and
but
Lewis is on stone, so the plan is definitely.
ooh, Gracie's
go for towers.
Andy's Vill. He's letting his teammates know now. This Vill gets faster. And
Tristan.
Oh! The TC got it. Sorry, go ahead.
There is also a blue dot in the back of Kingston's base.
And the villager from... Wait, how did the villager from Timo go down? Did it get killed between the palisades? That's huge. I think it did.
I think it might have targeted something, and then you can target.
Oh,
it back.
that's awful.
It's attacking you.
His plan was to go scouts, Dave, with that Vill. He's now going to use maybe the Vills on the other side. There's a Vill building a barracks as part of a wall. What in the
Kingston
world?
hasn't noticed the Ganji dock yet.
He notices now. He signals it. This has been nothing
He's
but
like,
a,
"Oh my
a
God."
freaking sneak
Oh, he's
fest.
blocking the Vil with the fishing ships. Yes.
But I
He's
mean,
stuck.
but
Come
I mean,
on, fire galley.
there's gonna be a fire on the way soon. He actually could kill this Vil. You're right. Just bring another fish.
I think he's gonna get it out in time. Oh, it's gonna be so close. And he's got the scout there too, and it's actually got HP.
Dude, this would be so sick. All right, fishing ship will go down. The other one gets into
And another
position.
one.
No way,
yeah,
Kingston!
that
What a
is
play! What a
That's
play!
sick, bro. That's
What?
so sick. And Dratek is here with his scout too as a backup plan. And that
Wow.
guy's gonna go down.
Yeah.
I mean, Ganji will still harass him over there, but that is amazing.
That is unbelievable,
job.
man. What an
And-
amazing block there with fishing ships.
Timo's barracks got walled in by Andy too, so really solid stuff. Spearman could be annoying.
Timo's going to be so annoyed. Like, Timo, if he didn't lose that other Vil, he could make a stable, which could make scouts to harass everybody. That Vil lost. Oh, wait. The villager somehow snuck through and is making a stable now. So there will be a stable going up here.
Okay, there's also Vils coming through from Lewis in the center. Andy still hasn't. Okay, he finally did. He didn't delete that dock foundation on Timo's pond. Lots of wood there, but he got it cleared up.
Villager gets trapped by Andy. He sees the stable. Timo's not making scouts yet. So this stable might be somewhat useless here. Timo notices he's been trapped, is trying to escape, can't escape.
Nice.
Stable gets gated. There goes Lewis. Lewis is through. Timo trying to re-wall. And these house walls are not up in time from Timo. And Lewis is sending 3 Vils to one player and 2 Vils to the next. Oh, God. This is just chaos again. But Lewis has got to be careful not to be too crazy, like we've said before, because Philip knows now, I need to have some freaking knights. He didn't do that in the previous game. Now he knows with this guy on the other side, he has to prep him.
Listen, if Lewis gets to Castle Age and then he has like the armored elephant kind of monk push or something, or maybe even camels or whatever, it could be really bad. Like really, really bad for Timo back here.
Yeah. Really like how stubborn Ganji has been with this dock. Even though he lost his Vil, he's still being a pest there. That's impressive stuff. But yeah, those 2 Vils in the back for Lewis, still keeping an eye out for them. Archers from Gray.
Stone walls. Full stone walls around this this stable here from Andy, which is nice because the knights could break through the palisade walls and then you'd have a problem of Magyar knights in your base, right?
Yep. Timo probably feeling a little frustrated right now as now he's getting attacked by scouts from Kingston. So a lot of players adding stable units now, knowing there's going to be sneaks. And Dave, there's no wall behind now for Timo. So when these palisades go down, just like when Lewis got through, we're going to see light cav through from Kingston. And Timo's trying what he can, but you can't finish these gates. Most like,
Oh, there's a knight there from Philip, so he can.
Oh, maybe he can.
Well done. Good job, team.
By the way,
He
for
still
anyone,
doesn't know about the 2 Vils behind.
yeah, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, because he's being told by Philip right now that that 2 Vils were killed. So he's just like, oh, okay, great, we got him.
Yep.
Not expecting the additional ones. But I got to say, really impressive stuff here from both teams to prep for the sneaks, for players who it's been awkward for to still stay in this game and pose a threat either offensively or defensively here. It's been a really well-rounded game.
The one thing I will say is Dratek's eco is going to be insane. He doesn't have the fish, but it's going to be kind of crazy. And same with Phillips, with Teutons.
Yeah, that's true.
My man is gaming right now, but Dratek has 4 TCs.
Yeah, and I think Dratek should be able to imp faster, and the opening comp is going to be so strong against who he's up against. Halb Siege Onager could be really good against Armenians, who is Ganji. We'll see if Dratek wants to go forward with villagers for building the production, though, because I don't think you can like build up from home here. You got to bring like 10 vills forward, build your castles on whichever side you want to commit to. I don't like the TC spots from Andy, considering the opponent could potentially rush in at some point. But then again, it's maybe something we didn't talk about. His map is kind of brutal if he were to have received any pressure here. Look how condensed
I'm
everything
honestly,
is.
Like, he tried really hard with the sneaks. I'm honestly surprised he didn't go for some, like, feudal push or something.
Yeah.
I'm really, really surprised by that, because usually when your opponent walls forward like this, you gotta push it back.
Or
You
even a
be the one
castle
applying the
drop, right?
pressure. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
because Ganji's going to go monks, and he sees those resources, and he's going to go siege, too, from these walls. So Andy could be up against some real pressure soon.
Look at Lewis's fills. Stable for each.
It's just so freaking random, dude.
It's so stupid, man. Is he gonna go camel scouts and then like third stable as well? He's gonna go Shravamshas.
I think he's gonna go Shravamshas, yeah. And
Oh
he's
my
probably
goodness.
telling his team right now. Timo doesn't know about this. If he masses like 10 of them and then sends like 3 or 4 to each spot, like 3 hit the wood line, 3 hit the gold, 3 hit whatever else is out there, could be so strong. Or even just
Ganji's
another
stock-
player.
Ganji won the water war. He's about to get his fire ships converted, but still,
Yeah. That's nice.
it's not a free boom for Kingston at all.
Yeah. Timo's fish booming, by the way. 3 docks fish boom. So that's where his farming, his food eco is, rather. He's not farming. What a funny game. But push continues to grow here from Ganji. He's trying to break through the middle right now. Freaking Andy's adding more walls. But it does feel like Ganji's going to eventually be through. And we have Timo making archer ranges by the monasteries from Ganji. So he wants to go cav archers there?
Yeah, but he doesn't know about the light cav spam that's gonna come into the back of his
Yeah.
base.
Yeah, you're right. Lots of food eco here from Lewis. But Lewis isn't booming, right? Like, I still think we could have a scenario where Lewis just dies to Gray because Gray is booming. So this aggression from Lewis really needs to set Timo behind.
Yep.
No
I think
light tab yet.
he's gonna rely on Kingston a lot.
Yeah.
For his defense,
That
right?
makes
And
sense.
by the time Gray is through, Kingston should be boomed up. Maybe going like Manaspa or something. Georgians do get SO.
Yeah, and
So
Andy
he could
Andy
do
will
that as
likely
well.
rely on Dratek as well with the same line of thinking. Dratek with a great eco. But my concern here for Lewis would be the fact that his wall is about to go down.
And he hasn't made anything
And
from
he-
these stables. He made 3 stables.
Yeah.
Nothing. Is he
He's-
trying to go up to Imp? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
He finally cues Light Cav. No armor upgrade on them either.
Even on like Arabia, Lewis is incredibly talented. The timings of which he does things is very erratic, right? Which is what makes it really fun to watch. You see 3 stables, anyone else, you expect immediate production. It's going to happen now. And you know, the longer it takes for someone to hit you with stable units, the more surprising it is. Like, if Lewis had stables here, you would have expected him to attack you when he reached Castle Age, not now.
Yep. I hope he gets the +2 armor before he attacks. Then it could be really good. But I don't know. It's going to be tough because Timo's on the way to Imp. I don't know why he's on the way to Imp with 38 vills, 17 fishing ships, and he's going cav archers?
Fast
He's
Imp
on the
Cav
way to Imp?
Archers, new meta.
What?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he doesn't have any military buildings at home, man. This is gonna be horrible. I think he did send something though, because he did wall in some things, like the house walls around the wood line, which he didn't have before. Whoa, I just watched.
Oh, the light cav are into the. Oh,
they almost ran through.
Into the wood line. Oh my god.
I mean,
I haven't seen a signal from him yet. I don't think he realizes. I think
there's a signal from
Ray's
Ganji.
gate might go down. Ganji's like, bro, where did these come from?
Oh, creative from Timo to help out his teammate. Wow, that was really well played. Look at that. Honestly,
Well,
not.
His name is Team O.
Yeah,
So-
good stuff. Working for the team.
You would expect it.
Fortified walls from Andy came in a long time ago, and yet again we see the power of fortified walls continuing to wall. Minus 7k there from Dave, but you know, Dratic gonna be building up apparently Siege and Halb, and he should be able to hold pretty easily against what Ganji's coming through these walls with right now.
What was the plan for Timo's Imp? Like Bracer? That's it? Like
It's just such an expensive unit to go fast imp with, the Cav Archer.
Yeah.
You need so many technologies to get the most of it. Obviously, it makes it worse now that he's getting raided, because when you have that fragile eco, you can't really have this messiness in your base.
Oh, he's trying to wall off these light cav. He doesn't do it.
Yikes.
And the light cav are still raiding, and Lewis completely nuking. You know, this is exactly what you didn't want to have happen if
Yep.
you're Teemo. You need, if you're going fast imp into an expensive eco with a fragile economy yourself, like, you need to not get hit at all.
Remember,
And unfortunately for him, it just didn't happen.
this push from Ganji, this is not an Imperial Age push. This is a Castle Age push. He does have solid eco behind it compared to some other players, but not compared to Dratic. But I'm wondering will Philip show up with something? Philip's building a forward castle. He's getting Onager. He's getting Cavalier. And Philip, he's going to send that Cavalier in some direction. We just don't know which yet. Teemo's getting massacred continuously. Teemo, not going to be a very big factor in this game, it feels like. I do...
Something. Oh, okay, never mind.
I do have to say, though, Lewis is so late with the town centers. So late. Like, he did have the wall. I know he's trying to raid here, but it does feel like with Teemo having the fish boom, he's actually in a better spot to stabilize than even Lewis is. So Lewis needs to keep trying to be aggressive here, but get that eco up. It's like every game that eco is struggling.
Yeah. Well, he's the rat mode player, right?
Yep.
He's the guy that's going to be in the back of your base giving you a headache, and Lord knows Teemo's going to need some Tylenol or something. Because
Dude,
Lewis is in the back of his base every single game, and he's losing more vills. Vills he can't afford to lose.
oh, and
on the goal.
Teemo, the pathing from the houses he tried to place as part of walls is brutal. These are fully armored light
Kind
cap
of
now.
more fishing ships than vills.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If he
This
didn't
is-
have
and
the
the
fishing
TC
chips,
on the
he's
other
dead.
side.
Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
Oh, no.
He has 20
brother.
villagers, Dave. 19, 18 villagers, 15. Or 17, but still, he just doesn't have vills anymore.
Well, on the other side, there is a push from Philip and from Ganji, and presumably Teemo at some point with the couple cav archers he has over there.
Yeah.
But on the other side, Dratek building up his elephant archer mass and bomber cannons too.
Interesting choice here. It chooses to go elephant archers. They think they attack faster with the Dravidians. That's what the unique tech does. Or wait, Bengali unique tech is attacking faster.
The medical
the
core
Dravidian one,
heals.
they heal. Okay,
It
that's
heals,
what it is. Yeah,
but
yeah.
Dravidian elephant archers attack faster as a
Inherently,
synchronous.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always know these things are strong. It's sometimes tricky for me to remember the
Dude,
specifics.
finally, Lewis. I've been wanting Lewis to add sneak town centers with his vills for so many games, and he finally does it.
Yeah, honestly, if there's a player to do it, it should be him at this point because he
Yeah.
just prefers to live in his opponent's eco rather than his own.
I think that's good. I honestly think that's good. You should get a TC there
Yeah.
so that you can keep providing more pressure and eventually maybe even castle drop it or go for more stonewalls to split the people up. I think it's really solid.
Dude, I've been waiting for Abu, and maybe this is what we talked about with him and how he typically is more of a hold player, but he's had
hasn't done much.
100 vills and a tiny little wall here from Lewis. He's been unable to push. And if
He
he
has
tries to
Britons,
do
though.
so now, Kingston's going to be ready. Kingston's got elite Manaspa research and plenty of castles here with the Georgians.
Yeah.
What a game from Dratic. That free boom from him is with no fish, just 4 TCs right away. Pushes back all these forward buildings here from Philip. Philip
Dude.
is researching Siege Onager, but still, it feels like this forward here,
Dravidian-
it's not done much.
Dravidian Genitors should attack faster, right?
I don't know, because while Genitor is like a skirmisher, I don't know if it's classed as a skirmisher.
I think it should. Did you know that Genitors get recurve bow
I didn't know they got recurve bow.
with Magars? I figured that out yesterday. Yeah,
With
it
like a
never
10
occurred
times
to me,
deck game
bro.
or something? Or like a
No,
shared
no, I
sit
was
bonus?
watching. I was watching
Oh, yeah.
this Amigo Wars.
Okay,
I didn't
so
know
it
if
was
you're Magars, you had a Berber teammate, you could get
Yeah.
recurve bow
interesting.
on your Genitors.
Recurve bow Genitors. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah,
Someone is saying that they do attack faster for the
yeah,
the
it doesn't
Dravidians.
surprise me.
Well, not really a case where you necessarily need them, but
No bloodlines. Kind of hurts.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know what else is interesting?
Teemo's still holding the line.
Yeah.
What is?
What else is interesting is that Lewis just continues to spam light cap into Teemo's base.
Dude, this gold, just give it up, dude. Just give up this gold. It's not worth it. You've been out there so many times.
Oh, man. He's
up to
brutal.
45 vills now, and there's now 6 stables in the back of his base and a siege workshop.
I like how Philip and Ganji are trying to cut the trees and go right towards Andy. Because, like, Andy has not been the reason that they haven't pushed. It has been Dratic, and Dratic built up from the other area. So if you could just go right through and hit Andy in the mouth before they can get anything over here to deal with this, that's the way. At least for now, the monasteries for Ganji are buying him a bit of time. But they are still losing ground. There's Elite Manaspa, there's Siege Onager, there's Elephant Archers, there's Camel Archers. Just so many crazy units out there for Team Andy right now.
Gray is about to feel the pain of those light cav coming into his base. Right as he starts to push, right?
Yep.
The Britons are very slow in building up. Very, very slow. And now he has to deal with that.
Ganji, we compliment his Monk Micro a lot. He needs to be on point here. If he can convert the Siege, even just the Siege, he's okay. They're okay here. Because the Siege Onagers from Philip can win them this game. Siege Onagers...
Dude, this is going to light up like a bonfire. Watch all
Look
the
at
monk.
that.
Oh my god.
Look at that. How does he do that? It's crazy, this guy with his monks. I would say the best monk player in the game. There were some others that come into the conversation, but Ganji's just really upped his level overall, but also with the monks over the last couple years, and he converts the bombard cannons. And there's Siege Onagers from Philip. The castle might not end up going up here, in all honesty. Trebs are going to go down. Andy could be in trouble here, Dave. Andy doesn't have much army right now. He's going for the trade
There's
instead.
a lot of Manaspa. Gotta make sure you don't run into the SO shots. The attack rounds with the Manaspa.
Well, there's no Halb support here from Philip, actually. The Halbs disappeared to those Camel Archers from Andy, and the Manaspa get through, and this is a nice hold.
Ironclad is not in either for the Teutons player.
Yeah, that hurts.
That could be an upgrade he looks for.
Siege Onagers can get micro down if the players are bold enough with their ranged units. Andy is. And he's microing. Obviously, Philip's doing a lot of different things right now. Siege Onagers will get taken down. The hold is there for Team Andy.
Lewis added more stables and he's asking for food.
I mean, Cavalier from Philip had to come over here to deal with this. Like we said, there's actual eco here, so Lewis is definitely going to build up more there. Gray's starting a little bit of a push towards Lewis. I say a little bit because he doesn't really have trebs. There's no elite longbow yet. There's no arbalest, but
watch
still.
Ganji get an elephant archer army here.
He's got one, man.
Yeah, it just converted the whole thing. I wonder if that's why elite elephant archer hasn't come in yet from Dratic.
He's just like, it's not worth it. Well,
they're going to be his anyway.
I always felt like this was going to come down to siege numbers, right? Because Teutons and Dravidians are always going to both go SO. So I think adding elephants against SO could be tricky.
Don't look now. Abu is kind of pushing out a little bit, and Britons are, they're really tough to stop a concerted Briton push.
Yeah.
Once they get everything lined up,
and
it just takes a very long time.
The only thing Lewis has ever made has been light cav, and it hasn't been here. And then the only thing that Kingston has ever made has been Manaspa, which gets countered by Halb. So absolutely pure Halb with Trebs here, and suddenly in a couple minutes Kingston might not have castles, and then Lewis certainly won't have defense because he's been focusing on the front. Now he is going to make skirms there, but you're definitely right. And population is actually higher for Team Ganji now. They've been able to stabilize very nicely. How did Teemo get up to 100 vills again? How is he not
Teemo's
dead?
Been doing good.
Really good stuff from him.
But he did a really solid job to counter this, and now he's got heavy cav archer. Doesn't have recurve bow.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a castle, but he's going to stone now. And once you get the Britons activated on one side, it'll take like 2 players to stop that or to hold that. And then you get the Magyars activated with their mobility where they can switch sides with recurve bow cav archers. Could be really devastating.
Now, the big issue that Team Andy can't have the military count of Team Ganji is because they are trading. there's a lot of trade cards. There's 40 trade cards for Andy. There's 25 for Dratek. So if they hold, they will have the golden come long term. They can recover from some of these losses. So that's the big thing here.
A wrecking ball here with 7 trebs with Warwolf.
That's the way to do it. Dave, look at the eco count right now for Andy, for Dratek, and for Kingston. There's not a lot of pop space available.
162, 152.
Yep. They need, like, I think Kingston right now needs to delete like 20 lumberjacks. He might lose them, but you need more pop space.
I mean, Lewis and Timo are just having a 1v1.
Oh, man. And also, trade is not possible if you have Lewis there, so they won't even try it. There is no trade in the future for Team Ganji here.
Can they stop this man? Here he comes. Here he comes. They're going to have to send a lot of things over here. Lewis now going for skirms.
Yep.
Over on the side, but longbow against skirm, I'll take the longbow all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus the Britain Trebs could help out, but Lewis has found so many different areas to raid again. And I can't wait to look at his eco KD after this game, and because honestly, it's going to be ridiculous. He's probably killed over 100 villagers, but look at Andy, Dave. Andy's Camel Archer mass has gone up. He deleted Vills or lost Vills. I'm not sure which. He's got 50 Camel Archers now. He's got 50 plus trade cards. And there was not enough Siege Onagers from Philip to take out these Camel Archers now. It feels like anytime we see one, it gets picked off by bombard cannons. And the Halbs then from Philip will struggle.
But here comes Abu. If he's got Werewolf, I don't know if he does yet. He can take out all these skirms pretty quickly once he gets through that castle.
Oh, man, this is crazy. And the trade's all in there, too.
Dravidian Timo is going to take care of the... Timo's trying to take care of the sneak from Lewis. I looked. Timo did not receive any res this game. So that boom was all on him, which is sick.
Yeah, that's sick.
That reboom is really crazy.
Lewis is probably telling them, like, guys, I'm in trouble right now. And any support he receives from Kingston will not be enough. So, you know, but at the same time, you have Andy and Dratek actually going for a very concerted push and having lots of success on the other side. So both teams now, they need to brace themselves and they need to defend and delay their death as hard as they can on their weak flanks.
I always like switching to point of view so I can see what their perception is of what they're up against. If you go to Lewis's point of view, this is terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, and
like
you can't stop
trebs, and now a forward castle, and the trade is right there. What do you do?
It's also the same deal from Ganji, right? You go to his perspective. Now he sees a lot of it further back beyond the Camel Archers, and you can't deal with the siege. You can't deal with the Camel Archers. It feels like you don't have the stone for castles, but Siege Onagers! The Siege Onagers could change it. Some nice shots there from Philip. Philip does not have a lot of trade, though, right? So he can only do this a couple more times. Push continues from Abu, and they're killing trade cards now, Dave.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
This is
Abu
crazy.
got activated, dude. He was dormant for so long, and then they woke him up.
It's crazy to say it, but Lewis has fewer villagers than Timo. Like, Lewis is going to be completely cut off from escape as well because of the amount of longbows. Lewis is in big trouble, Dave. But so is Ganji. And so, like...
They're losing trade on the other side,
This is wild. Yeah, both teams are losing a flank player. Now, of course, Ganji's got the eco, but I just don't know if he really has military. Skirmisher is not really going to be enough on its own.
So many of these SO have been getting so close to massive shots, and Andy just escapes at the last possible second every single time.
I don't know, you know, what the criteria is or what Andy's been thinking about as the team captain here. But I'm telling you right now, Dratek needs to play the rest of the series. Dratek has been so consistent. He has been so strong. He's been incredible. And he continues to push. And then Andy himself, how many cannons is that? 13 bombard cannons? With 50 Camel Archers? Crazy.
He's not messing around, man. I mean, also, you need to make a mental note, like, maybe tell Lewis to chill with the sneak stuff.
It's hard to do that when he's also had so much success at some points, but Yeah, I'm wondering, where's Kingston right now? Kingston's got 40 Manaspa. He seems to be massing and waiting to deal with Abu.
He got some in for some big raids, which was nice.
Yeah.
But like at the moment, look at the gates in front from Abu as well. Like just perfect.
Cav Archer is not it when Camel Archers and Bomber Cannons are out.
No.
All of Teemo's Cav Archers are going to go down. Feels like Philip needs these Siege Onagers to connect right now. Because Andy and Dratek cannot be stopped. Abu can't be stopped yet, but beautiful there from Andy.
Lewis is pushing back at the back of Teemo's base again. He's not done yet.
This is what I mean. Like, I don't know if you could tell this kid to stop. This is who he is. Abu's continuing to push. Neither team's going to resign. Like, Ganji could go down to 5 pop right now, and they're still going to play on this side because Abu is making so much progress.
Forward castle there from Dratek. The Treb's behind so good, and then the Rumi's coming in. Abu, the longbows have been putting in work. The Manaspa come in to snipe the Trebs, but like those helps and the longbow are going to feast on these things.
It doesn't even get all the Trebs, actually, so there's still a Treb around. But it does delay the push. Gray obviously distracted now. And look at Lewis. Like Cav, finding some areas from Teemo's eco. And Ganji's reboom, actually. Ganji's rebooming near this. And the Hussars are going to go in.
Lewis just didn't give up on it. And he's pushing in from that side. And he can always get res, maybe from his teammates. Although he's the one floating the most with food. There's a trade convoy from Ganji trying to stay safe and navigate this area.
Yeah, it's just, even the trade route is so constricted right now. I love how Lewis is still making skirms too. Like, anything he can do, skirms and bomber cans from his starting base, Hussars in the back, is working well. And I have not seen anything from Ganji in some time. He cannot do the same.
Insane game. And now Spawn Towers from Kingston.
Ooh, nice tech. So that is, I think there's pass-through damage. Pass-through damage for the towers.
So you can see it on the Helbs here. The Helbs will just like melt against this if he gets the shot.
And he's got his own Trebs, right? So he sniped the Britain Trebs, knowing the Britain Trebs would kill his Trebs. Now he was patient enough to use his Trebs. Snipes the last one from Gray. Dude. It feels like they've held the line here, Dave, and that finally Team Andy's going to win this game. Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis is a sleeper cell here. Like, he's just, there's flashing everywhere in their eco, and it's always just Lewis Hussars.
And he's got 70 in Q. And his food eco might not be the best right now, but he has teammates who can send him food. You could see Dratek sending him food right now. Not the first time that's happened.
Look at the army number.
Yeah, it's insane.
For both teams.
It's insane.
130 ahead.
Very well
GG
played.
called.
Very well played here from Team Andy. And Team Andy wins 2 straight, goes up 2-1. And Teemo's got to be scratching his head right now because this has been 3 games where Lewis has been in on him. and
honestly,
it's just it's so impressive.
Other than the fast imp this game, I feel like Teemo has played really well.
Agreed. Yeah.
He just hasn't been tracking those random villagers coming in. Hasn't been scouting. Maybe it's time, to go Ethiopians and then take advantage of that team bonus and make outposts everywhere.
Yeah, I think I'm just still trying to think back. It feels so weird to come in here with anything harsh or negative towards Gray, but I still can't help to think that he's 4 TCs. Yeah, he's 4 TCs. Lewis is on 1, and there's not even a fortified wall stack. There's just 1 wall. Feels like maybe that push that he did inevitably get to could have been a little bit faster. But there's so many things that happened here. It's so tricky. He gave up his pond for Teemo. Maybe would be used to that, and it was a great game. I mean, in the end, Andy and Dratek just outboomed everyone and outplayed everyone once they got to the Imperial Age. You think of Philip. Philip, not a free boom because he did have to add some knights because of Lewis, but look at that KD, dude. 300 kills, 531 losses. That's not what you want with Teutons with all those techs and all that siege. And Dratek...
Lewis had the most kills.
It's true. Lewis did have the most kills. Dratek had much healthier KD, and there were points where he was actually fighting against 2 people there.
Oh my God. Lewis got 42,000 res in Sling.
I'm trying to.
They're like, you get back there, and we will feed res to you. It was Andy and Dratek. That's why they had so many vills, because they had to have a secondary eco just for Lewis.
That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. I'm trying to see Eco KD. Where is
Eco KD? Doesn't show on this one. You just got to
so
go
you
back
go
to
in game.
Yeah.
In game will actually show it. So Eco KD for Lewis.
325 and 67.
Yeah, not bad.
Not
Wait,
bad
where
at all.
is it?
Timo went 8 and 203. And I'm pretty sure 150 of those were on that one goal.
Oh, man. I mean, this is a guy, he lost 203. At one point, he was at 18 vills. So if that would have been a full boom with 100 vills when the first raid came in, it would have been even worse.
That fish carried him hard.
Yeah, it did.
Hard carried his reboom there.
Yeah, I think what they really needed, though, was they needed Timo with more eco in the late game. The fast imp was just toothless. So
it's weird.
But I think the fast imp.
Maybe they told him they would sling him. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe Gray, his initial plan was to sling Timo.
I could see it.
We'll have to look into that. I don't know.
Yeah, it would maybe make sense. I do think that the fast imp looks much worse when you do have consistent like have spam in your base, though. So I'll trust that Timo maybe would have had more had he noticed the sneak. But again, they saw villagers from Lewis. Timo walled them in, and then Philip killed 2 of them, and there was just 2 more. So with game 4 and potentially game 5 coming up, we'll see if that continues to be the case. But I don't know what you do. It feels like Lewis is always going to get vills into your eco. So you just gotta, you know what you do? You always have your pocket player make a stable and just look. And in this case, Philip made a stable, but he didn't continue to look around after he killed those 2 vills.
Just make outposts everywhere.
Yeah. Big game here. Game number 4 to best of 5 in Amigo Wars 2. Big Black Forest final here. And every game, this player in the red, Lewis, has gone forward for sneaks.
It's open, though. I don't know if you can. It's really open here.
Yeah.
And generally, when it's open like this, they won't go for the walls early. As we have a pause here, they might be talking about these pawns. Since one of those is basically in Ganji's base.
Yeah.
So it's not really the most fair generation, but I guess the other one is kind of in between Abu and Andy.
Yeah, I think the conversation you're going to have here, though, it's supposed to be 2 pawns per team, essentially. So I don't know how this works. The 2 pawns being over here on Lewis's side actually is worse for his team.
Yeah, but there's one like that Gray can't really dock either.
No, he can because Andy's is... Wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right, my bad.
It's fairly even here.
Yeah.
They're both in between the 2 flank players, which is fine, right? Now, you notice that Lewis is not sending vills forward, and that's because it's so open. And when it's open, they kind of push the aggression back to the feudal age. Because if you go forward and start laming and stuff, but your opponent gets to feudal age before you, you're going to get cooked by archers or scouts or whatever.
Yeah, this will get interesting now, because I think Ganji would have wanted to play towards a castle. I think this is actually better for Lewis, especially with him being such an accomplished Arabia player.
Ooh, Andy's taking the rhinos.
Andy, just tell me he has loom. Okay, got loom.
Timo is here. Timo's here.
Timo can block this. Timo should block this. It's making life difficult for Andy now. Andy has to block the rhinos, otherwise the rhinos will kill the vill. That's a dead vill, right? Surely that's a dead vill. Who kills the vill?
Timo's still trying to block. Andy's still trying to save her, and she dies. She died to the rhino.
That's sick from Timo, though. How many times do you see players say, "Oh, I'm going to push my deer," and then their flank falls behind in some way? Great support.
Andy might lose another vill here if he's not careful. There's 2 scouts.
Oh,
There's 2 vills.
man.
Please don't try and take I could see Andy trying to take those rhinos, but it's not going to work out.
Oh, this is brutal for Andy.
Disaster.
Where's his pocket? Zach needs to be here with the scout. Like, if the pocket's not going to be here with the scout, then your villagers being there is a mistake.
Fine. He's fine. Zach shows up with full HP. He's got another vill here. He still has the scout. He's probably going to save this woman because it's Andy, and he can quick wall like a beast.
Yep. The scout is very weak for Philip. Philip can't help out. And we'll see what happens with the pockets here because of the pawn positions. It feels like this is Timo's time to have an uncontested boom And this is maybe his civ to have an uncontested boom and have success. He has Goths. He's got a pond. And these should be, being the key word. No
Lewis.
aggression coming in towards him from Lewis this time, but there goes Lewis.
Lewis already lamed a Rhino from Ganji.
Okay.
And now he's waiting for this this tiger to catch up with the Vil so he can attack it, or does he not even realize that the tiger
Ganji
is
might
attacking
even
the
try
Vil?
and de-aggro the tiger. You hope sometimes it attacks the enemy here. That tiger being there is so frustrating for him. That is so annoying.
So annoying. Watch the other one join in. Nope.
Oh, that's brutal for Ganji.
Hi.
There's a villager from Kingston coming over behind Lewis. He's going to take that pond. And, ooh, the tiger got de-aggroed. And now is it going to go
It's
after
coming back.
Lewis? Yo, what a play!
Oh, plot twist, bro. Plot twist.
What a sick play. And now quick walling here from Ganji. And Lewis should be able to quick wall out a tiger. But the tiger will still be aggroed on him unless he de-aggroes it with the house trick like Ganji did. And sometimes tigers can attack through buildings. Oh, man. That's always going to go back towards him now, Dave. Because there's no other unit to attract it now.
Well, Andy did get 2 of those Rhinos at the end of the day, and Gray got 1 of them. But Gray
Yeah.
has the forward walls, and that means that pond is relatively secure.
Yeah.
I think Andy is going to want to push this.
Agreed.
But it's going to be tough because he lost that villager early, and his eco has been struggling a little bit.
Lewis lost 1 villager to a tiger, and did he lose the other villager to a tiger?
He's only lost 1 right now.
Wait, dude, I thought he lost 2. Did I?
No, it says he's only lost 1.
I may have been looking at the same part of the map, looked away, and gone back to the same part of the map. No, he lost 2. Wait. He lost 1. I'm stupid. Okay, I'm stupid.
Unless he
build.
deleted 1, then he... Oh my god, Andy just absolutely finessed Timo on the pond.
Which pond?
Timo's pond.
Oh, that pond! Poor Timo!
Absolutely finessed him, dude. Holy... Timo, this is like the 4th game.
Oh, but wait.
Timo has to deal with this garbage.
Andy can't dock because the fishing ship blocked it. Oh.
Get on his ass, Timo!
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It's just been such a good job from Team Andy to never allow the pocket player to boom. And then Kingston, it feels like every game has had a free boom. So he's going to be potentially having that. Lewis is still running around like a maniac. And it would be the same with Zach. A free boom, uncontested. Timo's about to lose a villager to a Rhino right now, dude. Oh, God. And not only that, but he might kill the Rhino out there. Okay.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, Timo. You can do it, buddy. Come on. Just shoot it once. Nice.
Okay.
He didn't stop the dock, but he's chasing after the Vil. He still has this low HP scout, and Andy...
This is enough. This is enough right here to tell me why I never want to play Black Forest with these guys. I feel like I would be Timo every single freaking time. Ah!
Can we start a GoFundMe for like a Timo vacation fund or something? Like some sort of like retreat or getaway? I think he needs it, dude. Every game he's had to deal
Andy,
with this garbage.
this could be bad. Andy's gonna block. Andy feels such
Timo!
confidence. He goes for the block. Timo, no! Oh, God, there's so many of them, Dave. There's so many, Timo. Oh, he de-aggroed them somehow. And now Andy wants to kill the Vil.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, this is insane.
Dude, Timo needs a vacation. 100%.
Timo's a tilter,
It's
too,
not
man.
Lewis.
Timo
If
can
it's
get...
not Lewis, it's Andy.
There's a stable from Zach towards the middle. So he's going fast castle, I believe, but he's going to be going aggressive towards the middle with some knights. So that's going to make matters even worse for Timo if those knights get through. And he's going to complete this dock, which means, of course, Timo doesn't have that free fish boom he wanted.
He doesn't have a housing space, though. Andy doesn't have houses, so he can't go for that fire galley already. Imagine Timo got demoed here. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I think the dock is more the sure thing, but I think... Or, sorry, the fire galley is more of a sure thing, but yeah. Could easily see that. Remember, it was open between Ganji and between Lewis. This has been a very messy game. Lewis walled in a way that keeps himself safe, not his teammates, but that was communicated. So Kingston has
He
walled.
also he keeps the dock safe at the
Yeah.
back, which is important for Kingston, right?
But like, look at the walls though. Kingston walled, but then the other avenue is walled by Andy. That is such good communication.
Andy saves the villager again.
What in the world? This guy's insane. Villager at 2 docks now. Teemo's in big trouble here on water. That villager also could potentially lead to other things as well, right? In the later stages.
Oh, Andy's about to lose. Oh, I thought Justice was part of this world. He's about to lose the Ville to the Rhino. He saved it at the last second.
So many things happening right now, Dave. But I think the big thing here is that Abu is on the way to Castle Age. He is hoping, he is expecting to be able to go for a castle drop, right? But if he tries to drop that castle in any way forward, it is very likely he is going to get pressured because Zach is going to be making knights and Zach is going to have siege. So Abu's got a big area behind this, which isn't walled. I'm worried right now for Team Ganji with all the pressure headed their way.
This is going to be a wild one, bro. It already has been throughout this start. But it's going to be a little crazy here as Lewis still building up archers. I wonder if Ganji has seen the archer ranges. He saw one. Okay, so not completely surprised.
Yeah, it's interesting. He doesn't know the situation, but he might feel pressured to do damage here because of the pond being available for Lewis. You got scouts as well from Philip. So 2 players focusing in on Lewis, and now Lewis kills an archer from Ganji and is sending his archers forward. He needs to damage control behind, though. Pond continues to be a factor here as we see repairs from the forward villager from Andy. Beautiful stuff. Oh, God. Even the demo timing from Andy. Really nice demo there. Might not look like the prettiest demo, but he's repairing his ships, and Teemo's unable to do that. And there goes the castle, Dave, from Gray. There is siege from Zach.
He got the stone wall. He got the stone walls up in front of that, though.
Yeah.
I think once Zach punches through that palisade, he can actually range all of this, and he has the scout behind, too.
No way. Don't tell me he can range that. Oh, he's not hitting the palisade.
He has to go through that palisade first before he can range this.
Teemo still has not killed the Ville. Andy's building a stable. Oh, no. Teemo reacts by building a barracks. I thought he'd have the free boom. The castle goes up. You need the Turks player to really start to apply some pressure right now. There's no stone walls for Andy. And Siege and Monk is not so good against Janissaries.
Oh, Teemo trying to wall in the north, and guess who's here? The ghost of Christmas past. Lewis.
Lewis is back. Oh, I mean, it's smart that he got the walls down, though, because it could be worse. It's definitely that type of a situation for our conversation on Teemo now. It could be worse. Can't be much worse. It can't be much worse, but it could be worse.
Another Ville to a spearman, and the Ville from Andy survives.
And all the ships go down. Brutal. Knight, Scorpion, Monk here from Zach to hold against Janissary. I mean, that's a lot of units right now. Very expensive from him to do that, but it does hold off the attack. Eventually, though, if you get to like 8 to 10 Janissaries, it kills all of this.
The key here is going to be, let's take a look at Ganji if he is on stone. He is.
Yeah.
The key here is going to be that castle position. If he can get a castle position there, he's got archers. And we also have some knights clearing up the archers from Lewis. So Lewis could get completely wiped. And then we have Philip booming up behind.
Yeah, and like
Kingston's timing is going to be so important.
Lewis's macro. Lewis hasn't clicked up yet, Dave. He loses more archers. Lewis's macro has been a struggle.
Like, Lewis could get defeated here.
Yeah.
If Ganji walls in between him and Kingston and then goes for a forward castle, Lewis could legitimately have a chance of getting defeated.
Also, Andy hasn't clicked up yet either. So, yeah, I could definitely see this game stabilizing a little bit. Obviously, the annoyance is there for Teemo. But I would always put my money on the Turks against the Persians, which is pretty much what it is for Gray right now. But does he have it, Dave? We were brought up a couple times. He hasn't pushed that quickly at times. This is his moment where he has to push.
It's on that side, too. It's on that side of Lewis's base.
Nice micro there
Oh,
from Zach. There's the castle. That's what you're reacting to. Dude, that castle's perfect. Because
It's so
how is Lewis
brutal.
supposed to escape now?
He can't, and Ganji's gonna wall in between him and Kingston. So now Lewis is like, okay, I have to wait until Kingston has Onager
Yeah.
to get out of here.
Dave, other side. Gray's making progress. Killed a lot of this siege, which we expected. The Knights, too. Janissaries are this strong. And this is not what you would have wanted for both of your flanks right now. If you were Team Andy, there's a small chance... it's unlikely, but I was going to say there's a small chance that Lewis doesn't even make it to Castle Age. But I think he will. Can Andy survive? With Janissaries on the way to his base, though, and Purple unable to defend him right now.
Well, Kingston denied the villager walling from Ganji. But Lewis now has to wall up like crazy.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be corner boy over here, running away from all of this and losing villagers to the archers. At least he'll get the Castle Age from that town center.
Well, if there's ever a time for Kingston to carry, this would be it. Kingston's got a massive eco lead over everybody else in the game. But he can't offer support right now. Will he ever be able to offer support here, dude? This is an awful position for Lewis. And an awful position for Andy, too, by the way. His base is brutal.
Lewis escaped with one vill. It's in the exact center of the map, but he's having wildlife issues right now, trying to get away. This might be the lifeline. This guy might be the survivor that carries on the civilization, because right now, Lewis is getting absolutely destroyed at home.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have towers. He could maybe hold. There is some part of Ganji that's going to want to push Kingston instead of pushing Lewis, because Lewis is already so far behind. Look at Andy's position, though. Oh, man, we thought Andy was going to steamroll Teemo. He has done a great job, but Teemo beats him to Castle Age. And Teemo should be able to chill and boom because of what he's hearing about Andy's eco.
Yep.
Love the walls from Ganji, by the way. That's so smart because you know pressure will come. You need to wall. I think you need, even if you have to wall further back from Kingston's walls, just make sure that whatever he's making is not a threat for as long as possible. Where's the castle drop, Gray? I thought Gray would maybe go for another castle. It seems like he's slowly saving for one. Will lose his Janissaries in the back of Andy's base to the Knights. But good damage so far.
Will he?
Yeah, probably.
He's still got more Janissaries in Zach's base, too. He was harassing there, too.
Crazy stuff.
Tough to
from
see
him.
with Gray, but I mean, really, really solid push so far. As you know, every single time Ganji kills one of these walls, Lewis sacrifices like 2 vills to get another stone wall up. He's just buying himself an extra couple minutes.
Lewis doesn't even have a TC, dude. Like he
he's
has the
TC
resources for a TC. He's got to build one.
He's got the villager making its way over to Zach's base. How funny would it be if he ran into Janissaries?
Where is this ville exactly?
It's right near Kingston's double outpost on the other side of Zach's eco.
Oh,
yep. Solo red dot.
Yep. Oh, he's gonna build the TC there.
Rebooming, dude.
Oh god.
The reboom is on.
Oh man, castle from Kingston. Are you kidding me? He tried to build a castle there with no army support. Oh, that's brutal.
And he's now he's being pushed back here. He's trying to defend against the Oregon guns, but Ganji is coming forward with more mangonels. By the way, if you look at the mini-map right now, that's a great shot on those archers. Teemo has 5 TC boom with Goss.
And freaking Andy's under crazy pressure too, right? So it's not like Andy has done enough to slow down Teemo, and Andy's booming now. It's not the case at all. Kingston, this castle, I'm so surprised. It'd been communicated. He could have seen how much was out here, but maybe he thought the units repositioned. Such a great job here to bring this game to a winning position here for Team Ganji. But obviously, game's not over yet. But when the Goths are on 5 TCs, everyone else should be worried. Because Goths can beat anybody if they get that spam going.
Oh, man. This Mangonel Micro is so important here for Kingston. Ganji's somehow keeping his alive, and now the pikemen are taken out by the Oregon guns, and Ganji's castle goes up, and Kingston's like, yeah, I gotta delete that.
Other side, Zach losing everything time and time again here with the Knights and the Mangonels. And Gray says, see ya, Andy. Timo, this is from Timo. Little gift from my pal Timo.
Yeah.
That castle
Regards.
is going to be so difficult for Andy to stop. And, I mean, he can't stop it. He's been relying on his teammate, and his teammate has not had enough. And now it's still just back to the same thing. It's can Kingston kill everybody? He's basically got to kill like 2 or 3 people, it feels like.
Now, the question is, if you're Timo, do you roll up to the side that's completely opened here from Ganji, or Ganji might need help on? Or do you go and defeat Andy, the guy who did all the stuff to you earlier in the game?
Well, I mean, as much as we would love to be like, yeah, send a message, you know, that's probably not what he's going to do. It wouldn't surprise me if he does both. I could see him building barracks on both sides, and because GOTS produce so quickly, like, you could just kind of spam support to both areas.
I don't know, man.
I think the open side, if I had to choose one, you go to the open side, because the choke points is really what hurts the GOTS. That choke point that Kingston's got working right now is going to be tough to push through.
A guy we haven't talked about at all is Philip, and he's 25 seconds away from him.
Yep.
And he's already got Gambison, so he's going to go into the Gains two-handed swordsman, and then some siege with Bulgarians. And Kingston is still, well, he's still trying to mass up a defense. So Philip might run over him with the help of Ganji.
I love how Gray says, tower, that's funny. I'll just sit underneath that tower. Now you can't take gold. Actually denies both of those golds with those Janissary sitting there, and that tower is going to melt. Guard tower needs to come in for Andy. It's so crazy how much damage Andy was able to do, or at least it felt like he was going to be able to continue to do, but because he and Zach weren't able to deal with the Turk player, everything has fallen apart for them here. This is
Lewis
why you
is
pick
still
Turks.
holding on. 43 vills.
Yeah, this is true.
Haven't talked about him in a while.
Yeah. We'll see if he can contribute something. Kingston making some progress out of the walls. Trying to treb down this castle now. Might be able to make that happen with the bomber cannons, but it does feel like Ganji's just waiting a little bit till he's an imp and can make his own cannons, and of course waiting for Philip to come in with a two-handed swordsman, which might be soon. I think this is over. I think we're going to a game 5. I'm not seeing a way that Andy can contribute or Lewis can contribute. And any amount of pushback that we're going to see from Kingston here is going to be matched or beaten by Philip's army here coming in.
Yeah, Philip's going to go crazy on this side. And you have the Portuguese to support you.
Yep.
And Ganji's probably going to go for some monk techs here to maybe take care of the siege onagers or the bombard cannons, right? The Oregon guns will clear up all the infantry support or anything like that. And Gray is still pushing against Andy. What a great job from Gray this game.
Just stuck to his role, has continued to push. He actually has 3 town centers behind this. There was a lot of resistance there, too, from Zach, remember. But he killed it all. TCs start to melt now for freaking Andy, which we've said multiple times already. And again, he has not been able to take gold. Even if he completes this tower, I don't think that protects his gold. And there go the two-handed swordsmen with the organ guns on Kingston. And Kingston's like, well...
Lewis is running. Lewis is trying to make a run for it. But Ganji's like, I see you, buddy. Now,
Lewis!
he doesn't know that Lewis got away with 1 vill earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Oh,
you see that regardless of if Lewis has escaped, and that's a good sign. That's still like 50, 60 villagers. I guess that's more like 20 or 30, but...
He was coming back to deal with the Lewis archers in his eco. What?
Lewis found something. And maybe he produced a couple archers from the range?
I don't know.
He's probably been really bored, right? Like, if I'm rebooming on Black Forest, there's nothing to do. Nice shot from Zach. Zach was able to clear up some of the siege and the units here from Gray. But now, look at Timo. Timo's building up pikes. And so they'll hold this position. And now you've got Timo with 140 eco and being goth, spamming infantry.
Look at Lewis's DC that he made with that 1 vill.
And Philip is here! Philip is here! Oh, no!
The one place they decide to cut through, it's right there.
I mean, I'd like to believe that's intentional. They, of course, didn't know Lewis was here, but You got to send a message to this guy. Stop sneaking to our base, bro. What a great decision from Philip, though. Like, you don't have to do that. You can just deal with this bombard cannon push from Kingston, but he chooses to do that because he knows that Kingston has to be in that position, that Kingston can't switch locations easily. And the two-handed swordsman in the eco could wreck Zach, and Zach's already having big problems against the Goth spam and Janissaries.
Yeah, infantry spam here is going to be really difficult to deal with. Really, really difficult to deal with.
I think this has got to be, I mean, a bit of fight and grit here from Team Andy, but again, looking for a win condition, not finding it. The two players in Imp are going to be matched by other players in Imp and really strong armies. Like, maybe right now, Kingston's actually cleared up a lot of castles from Ganji, so they're feeling
pushing
like
it back,
that's, yeah, you know, that's a positive for them, but they're reclaiming land that was theirs in the first place.
Ah.
And that's the issue.
I was wondering when this would start. I look back and I see 4 monasteries from Ganji, so here it begins.
I mean, he lost his castles, and he didn't try and repair them or get HP upgrades or anything, so clearly this is part of his plan. Monks against
doing a good job, though.
Showtells?
Showtells are not the greatest matchup against the monks.
I mean...
There's an Andy villager over here that Ganji decides to convert. Don't know what that's doing.
Showtells should kill the monks pretty quickly. The Showtells should also kill the two-handed swordsman. But I'm just still expecting Teemo, even on his own, to be able to completely overrun Zach here.
I mean, maybe. They still haven't killed Andy. Andy's still in the corner there. They gotta watch out for that.
Dude, they still haven't killed Lewis. He's up to 16 vills. He re-walled. He is repairing the house. And this opening... Like, Philip can't just cut the trees again. Oh, there's another house! The man is doing what he can, but he will lose the Vil, and they will be through again. Wow, maybe I'm wrong. I guess the two-handed swordsmen eat these Showtells because of all the armor. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. It might be a cost thing and production thing as well, but Showtells get pushed back. Cannons then from Kingston, which, of course, are so expensive. They're going to be pushed back as well.
And the other side is Champion, Halb with Janissary behind.
Yeah. And not even Savar right now for Zach. Yeah. He's not even upgrading it. So, yeah, this is looking brutal. This is definitely that part in a Black Forest game where it tests the caster's ability to talk about something when the game feels completely over.
Oh, no. This I'm really looking forward to how Lewis is going to survive this if another army comes through.
Well, where does he run, right? What space does he go to? Does he go to Kingston, who's dying, or does he go to Zach, who's dying? It looks like...
He goes to the lobby, bro.
Yeah. GG. Well played, and man, what a final this has been. That was great, man. It really felt like, with everything that we were seeing with Teemo, that the pocket wouldn't have a free boom, and that would lead to some problems. But in the end, what ended up happening was, Yellow had the free boom all right on the other side. Purple was untouched as well. But the flanks just got completely rolled there. Freak and Andy did not contribute much in the long term in this game. And then Lewis got completely outplayed there by Ganji. And so well played. Well, to keep, like, it's instances like that where you need Teemo to not be completely dead. And he did a great job staying alive. Remember the wall where he lost a couple of villagers from archers? That could have been worse. So many things went wrong for him. He kept going.
Right, like Gray hit the timing really well, and then he completely neutralized Zach. Maybe Zach should have done a little better there, but like he's up against Turks with Janissaries. It's going to be tough every single time. And Andy was too far behind because of the shenanigans that it was basically a 1v2 over there, and Gray did fine. He was actually winning. And then that gives Teemo time. Lewis spent way too long in Feudal Age, massing up archers, and he wasn't even able to keep his archers alive and stop the castle forward from Ganji because he lost the one army. Yeah. And then Kingston's in a impossible position where he has to fight another guy who's boomed better than him. And Ganji, who has mangonels and organ guns while trying to save his ally.
Yeah, and you really need a fast civilization when you're Kingston there to be able to push back quickly. Ethiopians are not that civ. Yeah, I mean, Ganji and Lewis both went archers, right? They both went archers. They both walled. And Ganji had a 20-minute castle time, and he had more archers alive with less production. He only had one range the whole time. Lewis was 2 range. He had a 23-minute castle time, so 3 minutes later, and then, of course, he got castle dropped. So it really felt like Ganji just kind of outplayed Lewis a little bit there. If that's close, and if Ganji just can't get the forward castle down, if it's a defensive castle, I actually think the rest of the game is different. But that castle position for both Ganji and Abu were just so freaking good. So GG, and yeah, we'll go to game 5. We'll see what happens there. Both teams probably feeling like they can win it here, and both teams saving some of the best Black Forest civs. I know there's Celts remaining. I know there's Mongols remaining. And those two civs, I mean, when I was playing a lot of Black Forest, I was always picking those civs. Stonewalls are going to be your best friends if you are up against the Mongols and the Cumans. Here we are, game number 5 in this final. This has been an awesome final in Amigo Wars 2. Thanks to the Black Forest community for putting this on. And we've got Team Andy. Andy's going to play the flank here. And, oh, interesting. He's up against Gray, and Gray gets a super easy early wall down. And yeah, very open situation here for Andy with a pond as well. And then the other side, a very easy wall as well for Timo against Kingston.
Yep. Timo is going to let the scout through, and that could be a problem. There's another pause.
Pawn
so
check.
Maybe we're pawn counting. It's kind of, I mean, the pawns up against that flank in the north are a little weird. But other than that, they've all got 4.
Yeah, 4 pawns. I agree. Some of the generations are weird, and then I assume they are going to check to make sure there's the proper amount of fish on each pond, and we're fine.
Wasn't even a pawn check.
Yeah, it was a maybe tactical pause. Who knows? Oh, wow. Interesting move. Timo, who's had kind of a rough go of it recently, gets his villager trapped in by himself and is going to try and run through. I guess he just didn't want a Vil War here against Kingston, but he loses his scout, and that villager is likely to go down as well now.
He's melee, so he can make up that villager difference.
Yeah,
against Kingston, that's fine as long as the walls remain up, and they're both looking for the lowest HP one. As long as Timo gets this wall up, he's fine. Kingston might decide to try and push this, but Timo could also push it with a faster Feudal Age here, and Andy is going forward with a Vil.
Yeah, and I say wow because I think, like, you knew with this matchup, Mongols and Cumans being on the same team, that Andy's team was going to have to do something special. And so Philip pre-walling that choke point is really surprising to me. You could see Dratic and Andy working together. Philip's going to find out that the scouts are here, and there's going to be a Vil that walks right beyond this, so they might not know that Sneak Vil is there. Great work here from Dratic and from Andy. Great teamwork. This should be a dead Vil. And the blocking villager's dead.
But the scout lost a lot of HP there.
Yeah.
Still, Andy, using the distraction of that, has snuck through with a villager.
Can he avoid Ganji's scout?
He's gonna get on this pawn. The worst, one of the worst things is having a Cuman player 2TC booming with a fish boom along with it.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy, right? And look, even brings in the oxen. He's like, come on in. Yes, yes. Come in here. Yes.
I think Ganji, I mean, maybe it's been communicated. Hey, I had Water Buffalo there. Can you check? Ganji was bringing his scout over. We do have Kingston towards the middle now. He's trying to get some walls down here with Zach. But yeah, in terms of how you play this and how fancy you want to play it, you want to keep this really chill and calculated here if you're Cumans Mongols. Ganji's going to be very happy. I mean, honestly, dude, he has extra boars. He has 2 pawns to work with. Now, these days, these guys are only going to need 1 because they can stack the fishing ships. But this is the dream spot for Ganji. We'll see how he uses it.
Kingston might wall this up and then try and get a villager on one of those pawns from Ganji.
Yeah.
Because Andy went to delete that palisade wall and bring his water villager over here out. But then he remade it again. So maybe Kingston has communicated to him, like, listen, I'll get a Vil over there. And I'll try and get in on that pawn and deny the boom from Ganji.
I could see it.
And you just do whatever you can do on this pawn over here.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. And Kingston's going to walk through. Interesting to me that Andy, as he walls in the Tiger, is going to actually wall between himself and his teammate here. So there's no Feudal Age shenanigans or even just sneaks there.
Dude, I could see Andy trying to take back all 9 of these Rhino.
I think you do 3, unfortunately. Like, you're so busy. I think you get 1 or 2, and then, but yeah, get the others at some point. Maybe not on this trip. It would be really good. Ooh, also, Ganji was trying to take in his, and Zach was there with the scout. So that was annoying. So many things happening, which has been the case. Andy's Ville is super weak right now.
Yeah, but she's getting back alive. We all know it.
Come on, hype it up, bro. It's the final. It's the final game in the final. This is hype. What a risk from Andy.
Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
God. Look at her. Frame perfect. Frame perfect. That's right. You heard it here first. A house. Couple palisade walls behind. She's coming in hot. 6
Woo!
HP only. Angles the palisade wall so the boars can't hit her. Now attacking with a different villager. Villager hops inside the TC, and Andy will get both of the rhinos back, and surely that will propel him forward towards the victory in this game 5.
Yeah, it's not even hype anymore. I hope people get that. It's not even hype. These guys are so good. You make it look too easy. Fail every once in a while. And then maybe we could have some fun. But that's still really impressive stuff. What do you think about Andy headed to, like, going to feudal age here? You have a forward dock.
He wants to deny that, if he can get the food in. Kingston also did dock that area, by the way. So he's docked the other pawn. Unfortunately, it's the pawn that Ganji isn't on.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, his villager could die as well. Here comes Zach.
Zach is here.
Zach can block.
Zach attack.
Yep. That just gives him enough space, and now the quick walls happen. Man.
Nice.
I love the communication with the scouts. The amount of times the opponent, even there, a 5 HP scout is able to help out in some way is just so impressive.
Rhino's coming in for everybody all over the place here. Although Dratek did lose a villager against a tiger near his own pond, or near the pond of Zach, I guess.
Yeah, he's just brought in a lot of rhinos, though. He is Celts, wood chopping with a pond. Should have a incredible potential to boom. One of the best ecos in the game, and Kingston's villager goes down. So that's kind of a big deal. It also feels like he's going fast feudal to make fires against someone who hasn't even docked in that position.
I mean, if he knows there's no dock there, if he makes a galley here, he can cut off a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I wonder if he does know there's no dock there, though, because he hasn't had a scout around there for a while.
I honestly,
he also doesn't know Ganji has the fish in the other pond.
He could try and tower push this area here from Timo and just push him back a little bit. There are 2 stones there.
Yeah.
And up against Malay, you kind of want that forward position.
Yep,
we'll see what he does here in feudal age.
Yeah, we'll see.
Goes for a fire immediately.
Goes for a fire. He'll find out pretty quickly he doesn't need that. But he will hit the mill, which will be kind of nice. Better than nothing. Feudal Age is in for the human player. They, of course, are going to defend
Andy walls in a villager
fish.
from Philip.
But villagers for Andy. Could it go down to the scout? No, it doesn't. But villager's still out here. And Andy, dude, he's so incredible at this.
So good.
It's so good. 2 TCs for Philip.
God.
Philip's going to want to focus on that, but he still has to be paranoid about this villager here. If only there was like a Dark Age ranged unit. If only you could use the bow that you use to shoot deer to shoot this villager right now. I'm not actually proposing a Dark Age ranged unit. Devs, please don't do it.
You're copying Realms mod once again. Disrespecting Realms mod. T90.
Tower rush from the Poles player. Well, this is a really nice position to take if he can hold this. Look at all the
2
stone and
stones
gold
and
that Andy can't take.
And the berries there. Kind of brutal.
Will this be another game where Andy's so focused on quick walling that he loses map control and struggles? We'll see. More rhinos coming in from Timo. It is not a tower rush from Kingston. It is just very forward stone walls, including stone walls in the middle.
I mean, Andy's already kind of done enough because the human player right now is trying to get his food eco in order to keep these TCs running. If he had fish, it would be so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I also think that there's a beauty in not having to spend wood on fishing ships where the fishing ships run out of shore fish. Then you haven't committed to farms. This is coming from me and not a Black Forest guy, but I think just simplifying your approach here with humans is really strong. Yeah, big farm guy.
He might be able to go over and deny the berries in
that's
a couple of those edges, and then that takes him off food as well. So it's more farms needed from Philip. And Philip wants to put wood into farms, not fire galleys.
Oh, I love this, Dave.
And
from
Andy
Abu.
deletes and goes for a barracks forward, too. Okay, what's Abu up to?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the stone walls is so smart, right? Because Andy's doing nothing military-wise to defend himself. He's giving up all this space. But Andy's going to see this. because Andy's coming over with Vills to build a mill, which looks hilarious, actually. Go ahead, build that mill, Andy. What are you going to do with it?
Right gate over there to kind of deny some of the wall offs from Gray. Yeah, I think he needs the mill for a market. That's why he wanted to build it.
He does. There will be no military support from Dratic. Dratic could add siege, though. It seems like we might have a villager on the way. Andy might be communicating that these walls are happening, and they don't want the Poles player to have all this map control for themselves.
Zach just, pleasantly booming behind as well. He's already got a decent number of fish traps going for the 2 extra TCs.
Yeah, this is dangerous. I've seen a couple players in Black Forest really perfect the fish boom with 3 to 4 TCs with Huns. Really good. I think, shout out to Motastic. Motastic is an amazing player with that. I've seen a couple games in the Rage Forest tournament 6-8 months ago. I don't know, at some point. He's just incredible. Because you don't have to build houses, right? There's just so much flow, so much savings with the Huns.
Dude, I have a rule for which players are usually going to be good at that. They usually have a name that involves like a first name, like Zach, Matt, Dan, like anything like that, right? They're probably going to be a pretty good Paladin pocket player on BF.
The Viper. Wait, good at pocket player or good fish boomer? There's a difference.
Like both.
Both. Okay. Well, I was on Viper's team.
Single syllable names.
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, it's single syllable names. It's 2 syllables.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. Interesting theory. I've never heard about that.
You should look it up.
Well, it explains Philip over here not having his fish. Ganji's doing a pretty good job. He's on 3 TCs, and it's just Mongol late game that you're expecting to carry. And what I talked about is just the timings of how both these strong civilizations on Ganji's team can hit you with. First, you have to worry about the humans. When Philip is in Castle Age, that could lead to big attack, maybe trying to push and kill freaking Andy. So it could lead to a 4 TC boom, which is really hard to compete with. But then it's the Mongol late game with the Mangadai or the Siege.
Okay, so Dratic is helping out Andy a little bit with a Ram and a Mangonel.
Yep.
To clear this, which is probably good. I mean, he needs to get his fish eco up before he can, keep producing from all the TCs. So right now he's just focusing on that, producing from 2 TCs. Kingston now in Castle Age goes for 3 TC of his own. And Andy has scouts in the base from Philip. So he will continue to harass our Cuman's player, but he still has not clicked up the Castle Age himself, although he does have 11 fishing ships.
You know what?
Behind.
You know what really nerfs the Cumans here? Not the fact that they don't have their pond, but the fact that everyone else on the other team seems to have one, right? Like usually it's like if you can build that second TC, you get so far ahead. But because the purple can dock and fish boom, orange can dock and fish boom, yellow can dock and fish boom. Suddenly that second TC, of course, with no fish, it doesn't feel that strong at all. When I look at the numbers right now, 54
Dude,
eco. You've got everyone else
fish
competing
boom.
with that.
Yeah, Zach's fish boom is going crazy too.
Got a single farm, dude.
This is a single syllable fish boom right here. We've got 5 docks, and he is just constantly pumping fish.
Gray, of course, has no fish. He wanted to hold this position. He reaches Castle Age. The Kelp player's been pushing him back. He's going to try and continue to hold this position. He's going to wait for some support. It wouldn't surprise me if Philip adds in a stable of his own and sends something this way. He's got 2 stables now. But I'm really liking Team Andy's position. Siege Workshop, Monastery, all that will be pushed back.
Dude, imagine if Kingston goes fast imp and then makes Dromans out of that dock in Ganji's space.
You are so upset. It could be Dark Age, and you see a dock, and your brain immediately defaults to Dromans. There's something about that with you.
Fine.
I'm just saying. Now, the sad thing is, I'm talking smack about it, but it'll definitely happen, dude.
Yeah, I just think listen, I just think they're neat.
They are pretty neat. Would you say they're OP?
No.
Okay. It would be very OP though to have Dromans in someone's food eco in the heart of their economy. So yeah, Kingston's
Until they get
position there would
converted.
be huge.
Yep.
We had cannon galleons today on ice. So I could see it being more realistic to see Drummonds.
We did. Gray's doing a good job with this solo Mangonel. He already took out a Mangonel from Dratech. And he's going to take out another one against the Celts. But he does lose the Siege Workshop. Still, he's stalled out the counter push a little bit. Maybe buying himself some more time. Andy, is the villager still alive? Yeah, she's still alive. Forward in Philip's base.
Yeah, maybe a Step Lancer over there could help at some point. We'll see if Andy does
Mangonel
too much
coming
with
forward.
that attack.
From Kingston, Mangonel forward from Kingston. Timo trying to go for a castle here.
He's got to
Another
cancel
castle
that.
That's just a little too forward.
He did have vision there, but maybe just didn't realize the Mangonel was there. He's going to add his own siege. You know, this boom from Kingston, I've been paying attention to it, considering he's up against the Malay, right? He's done a really good job. Look at that economy.
Dude, look at
4
the boom.
TCs, the
Look at the
farm
boom
eco
from
is so
Zach.
good.
No one's even close.
Dude, if Zach, right now on the right side, it is essentially open, right? I know there's lots of walls, but there only needs to be one hole, and whatever Zach wants to make and send through there can get through. If he can get Paladin there, this will just be insane. And Gray's going to lose so much ground. He hasn't stonewalled much. Look at Philip's eco. Wide open. And he's humans. He can't even stonewall. I think that's where Zach might need to prioritize.
Ganji is taking out the dock. So Drummond potential, maybe not the greatest, as Philip still deals with Andy, and Andy's villager is still alive here. Nope, never mind. She got shot right over the palisade wall. Never mind.
Gotta say, it does make me happy to see the Huns dominating in some way.
50 fishing ships, and he's adding trade already too.
Yeah, this is sick, man.
138 eco.
This is why they brought him in.
And he's 2.5 minutes ahead of Ganji.
And it's also like pretty much unrateable at this point. What are you supposed to do to stop it? This guy's gonna have, he actually might have good enough eco to sling pretty heavily. It might not even be a lot of aggression. I'm sure there will be some of it. But Dratic, for example, he might need resources for Fura Celtica and Siege Onager. So it wouldn't surprise me if Zach, with all the trade cards coming out as well, if he does a lot of sharing the wealth here. And so
Zach will go for Cavalier, then he can go for Paladin right away.
look at these annoying Cav Archers here from Andy. Probably won't accomplish much, but it is still something.
Yep.
And keeping Philip preoccupied, and here I thought coming into this game that the humans would have this crazy eco lead. That is not the case at all.
Andy disagrees, and the armor isn't even there for the knights. So the fire galleys are doing good against them. The Cav Archers are doing good against them.
Philip is a player who's excelled when he isn't pressured. I've noticed, right?
Yep.
Always wanting that safe boom, and he just doesn't have it here. Nice job though from Philip.
Zach is slinging. He's sending food and gold to Andy, so he wants Andy to be up.
Props
He wants
Andy's
Andy
eco
to be
up.
up to the next age. Andy pushing forward. He can finally take control of these golds and the stones over there. And Philip is going to have to deal with all this Andy crap over here before he can start making buildings forward.
Love the stone walls from Gray. Gray knows this could be a problem, but I think the recognition is too late. The recognition is way too late. He hasn't had army support here in far too long. And so these walls are going to be denied by pikemen. The only thing that could really support those walls is knights, which is not what you want against that many Celt pikemen. But no paladins from Zach headed over to the right-hand side. A little surprised by that, but he seems to be getting ready to push with his teammate right now.
Timo's fish eco can be trebbed from the other side of the wood line.
Disaster!
Oh, no!
Well,
so much too. That's his whole food.
Not all of it. Like, I think 3 of those docks get ranged. And so technically the fishing ships could drop off the food at the other docks, but it's going to be
I think all of them can.
Bro, he's making a cannon galleon to counter the Treb.
Big.
He's making a cannon galleon. I mean, it's really smart. Has
Zach
to
is
happen.
sending so much res to the team. He just sent res to Kingston now.
Yeah. I like
He didn't wait for the tax to come in either, so he's paying the tax on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 166 eco. He can afford the tax for now.
And he finally loses some of those units here. Look at Ganji. We haven't talked about him in a while. He's top score for the team. He's needed right now. 3 castles, elite Mangadai. That's the unit you're looking for with the Mongols. Nice job, Timo. Saves his fishing eco. Plus, having the cannon galleons there is going to help. And Teemo's going to start to push through these walls. He doesn't know it's going to be Paladins from Zach there, but Paladins aren't that good in choke points, so I could see this them maybe stabilizing.
The big contribution here from Zach is just the sling that's coming out. He's enabled Andy to go up. They still have an ace in the hole, right? They still have arguably their most powerful civ, the Celts. Kind of behind here with Dratek, who's been helping Andy most of the game.
If I know that they're in a great position, but if Zach would have just built stables on this right side, this is game over, right? Like, Philip would not exist anymore. Philip would be gone.
Oh, Gray! He's walled off the reinforcements. He had a sneaky build there.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Castle could also, in theory, be denied. It doesn't seem like there's enough Mangadai to do it, but you never know. Gate's going to go down. Nice job from Gray. Paladins are running over now. We're going to see some yellow Paladins in the mix soon. Philip, 50 seconds away from Imp. He's going to try and go Paladin, but his eco has been a wreck all game.
Zach is still slinging like crazy to everybody.
Has banking now, too, so he's not paying any tax, which he was paying before.
Must be nice.
Zach is asking for some walls to be deleted. Yeah, where's the banking tech? Like,
where can I research
where can we research that?
Oh, it's in the Cayman Islands? Okay.
Man, poor Teemo. He's up against Byzantine fortified walls, and he's thinking, I'm Malay. I need to push. I'm supposed to have timings here. Has not been able to find them at all. And Dave, you know, when we talked about civs, we speculated maybe the Poles wouldn't be picked. My reasoning for that is, like, what do you make with them, dude? I guess you've got to go stable units, but it'd be inferior.
Bombard cannons.
Inferior stable units. Bombard cannons, maybe. Arbalest is a no for me against Celts, though. It's so difficult.
Yeah. But I think stable units are just a throw, kind of, with Poles. You got to go Oba, and then Bombard cannon.
Yeah.
And and Bombard tower, right? You become the Waller guy and the
Bombard
tower
cannon guy,
and the Bombard cannon guy, and maybe you're slinging
and maybe the trade guy. Yeah. Heavy. I think investing more of your gold in the trade than anything is really smart.
No.
Zach, by the way, 166 eco, so he's continually adding trade. He will eventually need to delete some villagers. Again, he hasn't pushed.
Bro, this is like some sort of scenario defense or something on the other side. It's wide open on Gray's side, but then you look over at Kingston's base and, well, quite the standoff.
Yeah. I mean, the stables are there if Zach ever needs Paladins to support there. He did actually research Marauders there, so we might see Tarkans on the field here for Zach, which would be a bit better against the Mangadai.
Yeah. But they die really hard to the Helds.
Yeah.
So...
would really love to see something like Siege Onager for either side right now. Looks like Onager's about to complete for Dratic. Paladins from Zach. Again, he just doesn't have a lot of them, Dave. I'm actually becoming quite concerned that Zach is overboomed here.
No, Zach has been slinging like crazy, man.
Yeah.
And Zach is now signaling the cut through the center. And, the Arbalists are in from Kingston. He cut through here.
Castle drop from Teemo. A castle quick wall. He's going to make some galleys there. That castle might not go up. Teemo, he wasn't expecting this. He was so focused on pushing. Never expected the arbs. What a great play there from Kingston.
So much eco damage as well. Like, even if he doesn't get in long term, this is a lot of eco damage on the fish.
And Dratic, as Onager cut the other side. Oh, man. I don't know where these Mangadai came from Ganji. But they did push a little bit. Oh, man. Zach. Man, I'm telling you, if he just could make a few more Paladins, get them into the eco here.
He's still sending res, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
That's part of it.
He's going to have 30-something Paladin. He doesn't have enough pop space to be building up sending res. Demos, no. Oh, Kingston's running. Oh, big demo from Teemo. Let's go, dude.
Teemo needs to get this castle up. There's still Paladins around. He's massing more demos. He's massing more galleys. Halbs are in the choke point. That could help. Castle might complete. On the other side, though, it's Rats and Archers and Onagers, soon to be Siege Onagers from both Celts and Mongols. Drill's on the way right now for Ganji, so we'll have the speed.
Dude, this game is ramping up. We are going to have a showdown here.
I'm just so concerned for Gray. It's like, what is Gray going to offer here? Looks like he's going to make Bombard Cannons. and Olvok.
Bomber towers, bomber cannons.
Yep. Nice micro here from Ganji. Celts have the superior siege because of the HP and the firing speed, but the movement of the siege from the Mongols cannot be underestimated here.
Dude, Timo, just get harbors, bro. It'll help.
Do you think maybe Timo needs a little bit of support over there from some siege too? Like, if Ganji can play God mode and have siege onagers on both sides, that's the ideal situation right now.
Yeah. He's busy microing against the Celt siege though. Like the Celt siege are easier when you have tons of units.
Yeah.
The Mongol siege are better when you're actually paying attention to the micro.
Yep, agreed. Mangadai do also have a bonus against siege, which is helpful with sniping them, but the Rattan archers are great against the Mangadai, so it's a tricky situation now. And Team Andy has just been working with more eco. All the players are capped right now. Every single player is close to 200 population, and that bodes well for them. Olbuk do come out here from Gray. That's a unit that should offer a bit more support against things like Halbs. They're actually kind of okay-ish against Rattans because they have a bit higher Pierce armor than other unique units.
Dude,
but
if
crazy.
Kingston ever gains control of this pond, it's really bad news for Timo.
Yeah.
Timo needs Navy to hold this because imagine the Byzantines with a dock stack here. And then suddenly you can't build castles at all. And it opens up this entire side. So Timo is in a position that he absolutely needs to hold on that side, but he's not getting any support from his team. And now Zach is cut through with Kingston. He's telling Kingston, get out of the way, finish the cut. My paladins need to go through.
Dude, what a game from a game from Zach. Zach's been he's been everywhere. He's been slinging everybody. He's been on both sides. He cuts through the middle now. Great reaction from Timo and co though, because they noticed this. They could maybe block it off, but that means Ganji has to go send Mangadai there. So his Mangadai, they're on the way back, and so they can't support the front anymore, which would be the opportunity now for Dratic and for freaking Andy to push these castles.
I know Andy's probably not going to lose these Rathans. They've been doing great work, but at the same time, I'm looking at those drill siege onagers, and I'm thinking, all it takes is one misclick.
Zach here with more paladins to run in now. The paladins that Zach ran through into the eco have found damage, but they'll get sniped. Both sides, though, as well, right? Like, now there's Kel
Kingston
SO
got
as well.
docks. Kingston got docks down. Uh-oh.
Dave, there's just so much siege here from the Team Andy on the right side.
The Mangonel, or not the Mangonels, the Mangadai had to be pulled away to deal with the Paladin.
Yep.
So all of those Mangadai were back there. They couldn't hold the line here. And now it's just starting to snowball with the Rattan archers. We have 54 of them. And the siege onagers now. Trebs will be needed here too.
Look at Kingston. Kingston's even adding monks for the SO that Ganji's bringing over here. Crazy stuff. Because that's what we said could change things, is if Ganji had SO over here. Dramans from the docks, a castle with Byzantines, and things are falling apart now for Timo. Still paladins from Zach, by the way. Still paladins. He split them up enough where Ganji missed them. And his Mangadai are all the way back over to help his team on the right again. And it just seems like such a difficult situation for Ganji to prop up both sides.
A raiding force now in Gray's base. So Gray is going to be preoccupied back there.
Yep.
Oh, man. Hey, Team Andy, the synergy here is so well. And honestly, I think Kingston is doing a really good job in the north.
Agreed. He's making it look easy, right? He's adding trade behind this. He's added the monks when he needs them. He's mixed in the Dramans. They also prioritized the pond as the pressure point when they could have so easily maybe deleted some of those walls and gone elsewhere.
It's not just about the map position you're gaining from the water surface itself. You got to consider like 12, 13 tiles around it that you're going to control. Yeah. And that's a huge area of the map.
And I think when you realize that Timo had his whole eco there with Malay, he was working off 40 fishing ships. He's just now getting horse colors, just now adding farms. Like, it was just, I guess for them, an easy choice. Still have to applaud the creativity there.
Army count is differential is insane now.
Yeah, and this is not a game that Ganji and co are going to want to give up on, but Gray has never really looked like he mixed in the Oluk. Obviously, we feel he's a little limited in what he can maybe do with this Civ. It was more about the Mongols than the Cumans. The Cumans too, Dave. The Cumans have not dominated like we've seen them do.
Nope.
Just because he wasn't able to fish boom and big shots there from Dratic.
Wait, humans have 2 hussars.
Yeah. We haven't seen much from him at all because everything
Philip,
he adds dies.
What's going on?
Yeah. He has no
Is
resources,
he
really.
just slinging now? Is that his goal, to just set up the trade and sling?
I think there are times where you have to just hope that one guy can hold for you as you get a big trade boom. So you can go like Paladin or something, but
Food, please.
I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's going to work out for them right now. It's funny how Zach continues to ask for food. He's got 65 trade cards. Might not have the amount of fishing traps that he needs.
He's adding Tarkins now, dude. Let's go.
Yeah,
Love
Tarkins is
Tarkins.
perfect. If it's mainly Mangudai, that's the Mangudai and Siege. That would be your problem. Tarkin is the perfect unit. Higher Pierce Armor unit. And the trade line is right here. Feels like
Oh, Kingston,
once
watch
the
out.
trade is
Kingston,
down.
watch out. Kingston, watch out. That's an SO.
He's converting
I know
it.
You got to target him for a conversion. I know it's there, but...
Okay. Dude, that's another thing that Kingston's done such a good job of. We haven't really seen him get rocked.
Got it.
Converts the SO, adds more docks for more Dramans, keeps this castle up, so close to pushing into the heart of Teemo's base. But the other side, trade cards are going down the Rats and Archers. Forward castle here from Dratic. Yeah, surely this is it now.
3 Hussar on the field for our Cumans player.
Yeah, I would
3
be,
Hussar.
you know, I'd be curious to hear his thoughts on how this is played out, but like, I think it's hard not to be thinking you're a little unlucky by how many pawns generated here, because you're just like, I'm supposed to have the 2 TC boom to carry me. The 2 TC boom does nothing when everyone has a pawn to fish boom in, and they're so good at it. Yeah, someone said it's felt like 2v4 for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, I agree. It's been pretty much Ganji and Teemo, and the other 2 players for their team has really struggled.
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know what you want Gray to do with poles.
Yeah,
more.
I
Like,
agree.
he did the forward walls. He walled in Andy.
Yeah.
He had the walls behind. Like, he's gotten into his composition, but he's poles.
Yep.
He's poles. And now he's forced to go into Winged Hussar with all these halberdiers around.
Yeah, Teemo's got 0 army at this point. He does have some military in queue, but Paladins and Arbs are into the trade route, and surely now at this point, Team Andy knows they've won it. Just the other team doesn't want to lose. I don't know how much banter there's been between these 2 teams. I know within this community there can be quite a lot, but obviously a lot of pride and a lot of hope that they'd be champions here. But
I'm not. What's the army high for Philip? I think he had like 30 helps at one point.
he was
That's
going,
about
yeah,
it.
he was going Halb and then straight into Siege Onagers and Ratans, and he was just stuck. You really need Paladin for Cumans, but you need to have, where Cumans have success is when they have the eco lead. And not only did he never have the eco lead, he was like 50 eco behind Zach because of Zach's fish boom and his TC edition. All right,
Feels
boys.
bad, man, when you're Gray and they just completely skip over you.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, Gray's like, I'm trying here. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, GG.
Well, GG. What a fun game, dude. I mean, it's hard to pick an MVP for Freakin' Andy's team because Freakin' Andy's team was just, they were so well-rounded
Insane.
throughout this series.
Yeah.
Every single player plays so good. This is, of course, not forgetting Lewis, who played amazing from the flank at various points, but they really went for the core strategists here and like the big eco players. And Kingston did exactly that on his flank. Zach, of course, was just insane with what he did with the Huns. Dratic not only boomed, but supported freaking Andy, and then Andy still had the sneak shenanigans, but ended the game, man, with tons of army, tons of eco, and coordinated so well. So congrats to Team Andy. Team Ganji, obviously fun to watch as well, and played some epic games. And I think if this is one of those BF generations where there's 1 pond per team, and the Cuman player isn't competing with booms against 3 players that have a fish boom, I think the 2 TCs feels a lot stronger than it did here. So that hurts for
Well, I
Philip.
mean, he also had Andy up in his business.
Yeah,
you know?
which didn't help at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. They kind of strategically ignored Gray, and it ended up working out. Zach's eco was insane. He actually received more sling than he got because he sent it all out at first to get everyone to imp, and then he got it all back to keep the paladin.
Well,
and
you know,
the,
it was a good old-fashioned loan
Darkin
with
going.
interest, right?
Yep.
got it back. But yeah, I think Zach slinging his team while also getting Paladin is an easy thing to underrate as well, right? Because you need to give your opponents, your teammates rather, enough to allow them to get their imp timings or whatever upgrades. But you also can't be that guy that has 200 eco and isn't pressuring with those timings. So that was great work from him to have just enough. Always felt like, there was always this feeling from my perspective anyways. I wanted him to have like 80 army, right? But that 80 army wouldn't have helped as much as the 30, 40 paladins and all the eco passed along to his team.
Yeah. You look at the KD for Philip and for Timo, that basically tells the story of what was going on. Like Timo needed to push with Malay, but he was up against 2. And he was up against Byzantines, which if they don't want to be pushed, they're not going to be pushed, essentially.
Philip was fully expecting that Zach would send everything to his side, which is why he went straight help. But instead, Zach sent a lot of resources to Andy, which allowed Andy to be on elite Ratans. It was a very, I don't want to say a very unnatural timing for freaking Andy, but it was probably a surprise to Philip when he saw how many elite Ratans were out based on how the game played out. So, how would be something that Philip would change, I think, if he knew that Andy was receiving that sling. But yeah, GG's. Great series, great back and forth, great games. I really like this, man. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon and say my tune is completely changing on Black Forest, but I mean, if these 8 or 10 players are playing, I'm all in on watching them again because it was just so good the entire way through, from the communication to the micro to the consistency. So,
and
GG.
shout out to the Rage Forest community for putting this on it. The organizer is Williams and Samaro, I guess. And then there was donations towards the prize pool for it. So
yeah,
super solid. Glad we could stream it. It was a lot of fun. And you're right. Like the level on Black Forest, it keeps going up and it keeps getting more and more ridiculous at some stage, which I like.
Yeah, and I think the change, at least at this level, the earlier rounds, I watched some games, maybe it wasn't the case, but like when you get to these players and these teams, it's no longer a situation where it's like, okay, that person has a lead. We're going to boom for 40 minutes and then one team wins, GG, right? I feel like that can happen a lot. But this series, anyways, was not like that at all because one team would find a way to get a lead and then the other team would find a way to claw their way back. So it just shows how good they are. But yeah, good stuff. I agree with you. Really happy that we got to cast this one together as well. Because sometimes, we cast the final together, the final's crappy. We got a good final here.
In Cup 5.
And
Sorry?
I guess technically 3. If we really want to go back, we could also say King of the Desert 5 and
4 as well.
We just keep going. But
everything but 2.
Two was the one. Yeah, true.
2 was the one. Yep. Well, there were no losers here. Everyone won except for maybe the Vikings, who I don't think ever got picked.
Which shout out to Fatslob. Fatslob doesn't understand, but
yeah,
you'll find him on Voobly if you look hard enough. But yeah, GG's, dude. Thanks for the cast today. I had a good time.
It was fun, man.